Welcome to the EST Hangout.
This is the EST Hangout, and today's guests are...
A very good Friday morning to you. Welcome to the EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage, live right here on your clear choice for Edmonton Sports. It is Edmonton Sports Talk. Thank you to everyone for listening live on EdmontonSportsTalk.com, on TuneIn, on iHeartRadio, on Apple Music. Thank you for those who are watching live right now on YouTube, or thank you to those listening to this on podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. Full house today. Jay's in, Glue Guy. Tommy's in. Me, Maddie's in. And on camera for the Hangout for the first time.
Wow.
Benny, the intern. He's in. Benny's here.
Thank you.
Round of clicks for Benny. Do you know Josh Clausen does not like the clicks, nor does Murray McCourt? Did you hear that on Monday?
I didn't. I listened to a lot of that, but I didn't hear that. Why?
They're just like, they weren't big on clicks.
What are they big on?
I don't know. I was like, well, should we clap? And they didn't.
What
really,
rhymes with clicks?
They didn't really. Clicks?
What?
I didn't know what clicks were, like round of clicks, till you introduced it.
Well, and I got it from the Golden Bears hockey team back in the day.
Oh.
That's how they would celebrate things in their locker room after games, round of clicks for the boys. And
Then it also comes from poetry. Poetry readings, you're supposed to round of clicks after a reading.
Well, and then, you know the movie So I Married an Axe Murderer?
Yeah.
It's in that when Mike Myers' character is in like a speakeasy and he does the woman. And that after they do a performance in that speakeasy, they round of clicks, which I didn't know until recently. So the only reason I have that is from the Golden Bears hockey team of the old days.
I could see them doing it in a mocking fashion. They
Bears?
probably saw it somewhere.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Part of, on campus somewhere, and they're like, look at these dorks with
at
these
the poetry reading.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Probably
100%.
at the Poets Society.
And then they're like, you know what? We're going to do it for fun. And then you saw it
100%.
with the hockey team. Did you try to bring it over to the football team when you were playing?
It was just out in public. We hung out with the hockey team a lot.
Oh, okay, I
So
see.
we would always round of clicks for certain things.
They would totally be doing it facetiously.
Yeah.
But then it becomes a
Well,
thing.
it's one of those things that's so weird and bad. It's okay. It's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm surprised to hear that Clausen and McCourt
They weren't big on it.
weren't big on it.
Yeah.
What would they prefer?
Well, I said, like, would you like to clap? And they didn't say anything. And, like, they didn't.
I think
go to
they're just
anything
not
else.
comfortable with it. I think they're just not. They just haven't embraced it enough.
They haven't been able to be part of it.
We give round of clicks at so little behind the scenes of what goes on in my house is, let's say my wife makes a beautiful supper and, because I'm on till 6, we only eat together on the weekends. So I love to cook and she loves to cook. So we'll always make a couple nice meals on the weekend and we'll go down, we'd sit down and then it'll be a slow clap for whoever made the dinner. But that's transition. Now my girls, after the slow clap, ask for a round of clicks.
Really?
As well. Yeah. Wow. So it's transitioned into our weekend life.
We got a text that came in. Admittedly, I'm also not a big fan of the clicks, but I like Jay, so I'm okay.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I think clicks are good for like small gatherings. Yeah, like in this setting, I think it makes sense.
I find
Claps are loud.
Yeah, I find the clicks silly, but in a good way. Like, I'm like, okay, what are you guys clicking? I don't know. We click anything. It's just like if we want to give props, like, and it's kind of silly in a harmless way.
Yeah.
I love the clicks. I love the clicks.
I think it's fun.
It's a great thing. I think it's a thing for EST.
Yeah.
But it's mostly, I don't know if anyone else does it fully on the other shows, but the Hangout does it.
Well, yeah.
We're always doing a round of clicks.
We've done a round of clicks on the Reed Wilkins show.
Belzy and I have done it, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, on Hell Hockey, 100%.
Yeah, we do it.
Yeah, 100%.
Edmonton Sports Talk, proudly presented by Playa Alberta. Very excited to have them on board. Also excited to see them jump further in board with the Edmonton Elks. I know Chris Morris was on with the morning show less than an hour ago, breaking down.
Can I say something about Chris Morris?
Go for
I'm
it.
ready to play DB for him right now after listening to him. And I've never played a single snap of football in my life. I'm ready. Let's go. Put me in, Chris. You need a 39-year-old with a bad back and a bad knee? I'm in.
He has that ability, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously, I was like, damn, this guy, he's feeling it.
Since the day he got hired from the Golden Bears. When he first did his first interview with Dusty.
Yeah.
Dusty was ready to go through a wall for the guy.
Yeah.
Put me in, coach.
He just has the the knowledge, but the assertiveness to carry forth his plans.
Yeah.
He will not stop. He will not stop till he gets what he thinks is the right thing. Like, I worked very closely with Chris for 8 years since the day he was hired at U of A. I was the president of the Alumni Association. We totally transformed our way of thinking. And a lot of it is you just need more people. And in those situations, alumni associations, it's hard to get people to put their hand up. And I understand. We all have busy lives. And Chris said, no, I'll help too. And I was like, okay, well, let's go. And then that was born of the gala dinner for the Golden Bears, which now raises over almost $100,000 annually for that program. Funny story. We wanted to kick it off. Our first one ever was at the Derrick Golf and Country Club, or Golf and Winter Club, I think it is. And we wanted to knock it out of the park, like make this the gala event, sporting event to go to in Edmonton. So we reached out to Peyton Manning's group to see if we can get Peyton Manning. Do you know how much Peyton Manning would have charged for that?
Yeah, I was going to say around $250,000.
No. Man, keep in mind, this is like, almost 15, 16 years ago. So things have changed a lot, especially in that world, sports marketing world. Just to speak, and it was 10 minutes, it was $50,000. And then everything else we would have had to pay for.
Flight, hotel.
First class round trip flights, for like top of the line hotel, like everything.
Yeah.
It would have ended up being close to $60,000 for us to get Peyton Manning in. So we're like, well, we don't have money, so let's start. And Dusty used to MC those actually as well, because he was a young star in Edmonton, and I think he was fairly reasonably priced, if I can say.
Yes.
He may have done us a few solids. Round of clicks for Dusty.
Yeah.
Round of clicks for Josh Clausen and Murray McCourt. Yeah.
But that's why Chris, that's why as soon as Chris was hired, I was already on board with this team turning things around fast.
May I?
Yes.
One thing that I was struck by in that interview was him saying that the sponsorships are very strong right now. I think he even said it might be the best.
He said historic.
Historic.
He used the word historic.
That's a really good indicator. And I know the Play Alberta one is a big one, Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. That is a huge indicator. Also, I want to say this, guys. Like, I remember when the name change happened and it was in the height of the downfall and the money was hemorrhaging so badly. Remember, the team was at the whim of the major sponsors. Bel Air Direct pulled out, and some others were threatening if they didn't change the name. And now all of a sudden you have a new owner, right? And you don't need to be that vulnerable, I think.
You don't need to pander to anyone.
Yeah, you can kind of be more assertive.
That's what Chris brings back.
Yes.
And that's why that changed immediately, is he's bringing back, forget the name. The name is the name. Forget that. He's bringing back the ways of the old, Eskimo way that he experienced and he loved. And it made him stay in Edmonton.
Yeah.
But that wasn't just on the field. That came, obviously the success was on the field. They had some great years, but it was off the field. It was in the locker room. It was in the community. And you look at a lot of guys from those years, they're still around Edmonton. A lot of them. And when you have championship teams and championship team chemistry, you stay together, and that doesn't go. So Chris wants to bring that back. And people, don't kid yourself. People know that. And people, the business community in Edmonton, are begging for that. Begging for this team to be successful again. And they want to help because they believe in Chris. Chris is very respected in the football community as well as just in general.
Further to that, he also mentioned that they're looking at, and they have created more community programming, which I thought was huge too.
Absolutely.
To be more integrated. So I thought that was a good point that I caught. And then his interview ending with the first on the beach is always tough. And just his connection cut out.
I actually think it was quite proper.
Yeah,
like
good.
That's how a Chris Morris interview might need to end. Yeah, the first guy on the beach. It's a tough situation.
Yeah. I'll end this with this too. Speaking, name change, whatever, logo. They're obviously going back to the double E. That's the huge emphasis. Who knows what happens with the name? If they stay Elks, that's fine. But it's the double E. 55% off sale they have on merchandise right now, and that's an indicator to me that they're clearing out the Elks logo and refocusing on the double E.
Benny, what are your first memories?
First memories of
Whether it's the
life?
Eskimos or
say,
the Elks.
Is this like the Eric where do you remember when you were born?
Yeah, I was gonna say I definitely don't. I remember talking about that with Tommy. I don't remember.
Nobody
anything
remembers when they're
Eric
born.
does.
No, that's bullshit.
Eric says he
I find
does.
that bizarre.
Yeah.
That's BS.
Ridiculous.
It's simply not true.
I don't want to take.
It's a shtick.
No, I watched with my dad a lot growing up. I remember exactly where I was when they won the Grey Cup. I was just at a friend's place, and there was probably 6 of us, or 6 families, and we were watching the basement. And that's pretty much it. And then I remember there was that weird period where started downhill a little bit, and me and my friends have gone they do a pretty good job with the colleges where they do the campus clash.
Yep.
So I've been to those the past 2 years, and those have been a lot of fun. And then my best friend actually just bought season tickets, so
Nice.
might be going to a lot more games. So I'm excited. Obviously, I know with sports media and stuff, I gotta be in the know. So I'll be watching a lot of games this year. It'll be good.
It'd be funny if Belsey takes you with him. I could see him picking you up under his big arms and be like, "Let's go, Benny, take you to the game. We don't sit, we stand, we drink."
Oh, you'd have a great time with
Yeah,
Belsey. I want to go to a game with Belsey.
Oh,
Yeah.
Me too. I want to go to a game.
yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah. No, I've had my fun times there already, just even at the campus clashes and stuff. They had that whole section for the students, and it was
Was there any clashes in the sections?
no Yagway fights. No.
God.
No, it was actually pretty cordial.
Maybe they should change the name to Campus Cuddle.
Was there
That's-
some romance?
What a joke.
None for me. But
Why aren't we clashing?
False advertising.
That's a load of
We have all
crap.
these campuses coming together in this close quarters, and they're not fighting each other.
Yeah.
Where's the pride in your school?
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Pride in your institution.
Kumbaya. And
Same jersey, don't matter. In Vegas, you saw those 2 Oilers fans fighting each other in the
They were
stands.
They're
brothers.
They were brothers.
They're
Yeah,
brothers.
meatheads.
Well, I like how
no,
the guy
that's-
didn't even stand out of his seat.
No, yeah.
He just beat the other brother up while sitting. I'm not
You
wasting
took
my
my
energy
toys.
getting up.
that actually makes sense.
That they're brothers?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. Oilers.
You're why would 2 Oilers fans fight? But then
If they know
I wonder
each
what
other,
would
there's
drive. I
something.
wonder what was said originally.
Yeah, they'd probably just have that history. They probably walk away we fight all the time.
What if they're brothers, but they're not brothers? What if
They
he
look-
just found out that he was the one that was sitting and receiving the punches was actually adopted?
Well, but that wouldn't cause a fight.
Why not?
'Cause
You've
you're
lied
not-
to me your whole life.
But maybe he didn't know.
Well, he did. Let's assume he did.
Well, mom and dad said not to tell you.
There you go. And then he bears the
Yeah.
brunt of the pain
But
and
which
suffering.
one is the adopted?
I think
one
the
that got
adopted
beat up?
one is the guy that is delivering punches, the guy that was standing. He's got to be the adopted
No, I
one.
feel like the older one's the one sitting.
Oh, and he's just taking it because now he doesn't know what to believe.
He gets up. The other one gets up because he's upset that he's adopted, and he's like, "How dare you?" And then the brother's like, "Sit down." Then he tries to fight him, "Don't tell me what to do." And then he just grabs him, just starts beating the crap out of him.
They were
Yeah.
terrible punches. It was like
Yeah.
a crankshaft.
Well, what do you think?
He's sitting.
He's,
Yeah,
yeah.
but and then the security guys come. They're like, "Oh, we're fine. We're brothers."
Well, yeah, I guess what do you do there? But
Well, I think you're getting kicked out. There's a fight.
I think we roll with the adoption story.
Okay.
First to break it.
Max Bezzozu, Jay spitballing an Oscar-worthy screenplay right now. Nate the Builder. I remember when Benny was born.
That's your dad.
I hope so.
I was gonna say I hope he does. Yeah.
What a beautiful.
Brent.
Doesn't even remember what led to that.
Oh, hey.
Jay making
Gross,
up.
man.
Campus clash.
Get
of
me out of
course.
here. Get me
Jay
outta here.
making up a Benny's gonna start laying punches right over here. Jay making up a diabolical story about the 2 drunk brothers on an adrenaline is hilarious. The EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage, Canada storage experts, more than 2 decades helping Canadians through life transitions. Right now, May savings in full bloom. They say even with the pictures of the flowers in bloom.
That's beautiful.
I love it. 50% off 12 weeks on all units, 75% off 8 weeks on 5x5 units, or you can get 4 weeks for unselected units. Sentinel.ca. You're talking about the Elks and keeping people around. I don't know if anyone saw the story from a day or 2 ago of Diedrich Mills from the Stampeders. He spent the winter in Calgary.
Yeah.
The quote is, "I'm never doing that again." He couldn't handle the cold.
Really?
Says he'll never stay in Calgary over the winter again. It was too cold for him. Wouldn't leave his house.
Oh, what a wuss.
Wow.
Typical Stampeder.
Yeah. Good luck if you guys make the playoffs. Have fun.
Yeah. Have you played in the CFL?
Yeah.
Have you played in a season? It doesn't get warmer.
No.
I just love how upfront he was. Yeah, I'm never staying in this city again.
I don't know if I necessarily want that public.
No.
I think that's bad, and it's probably. I would say that's even worse on the organization to have that.
Yeah.
Get out.
I think for him, you'd probably for the fan base. I just was homesick. I don't know if I'd stick around for another year.
Right.
Loved Calgary, but homesick. I feel like I should probably probably won't do this again because I want to be around family a little more. People would accept that.
That is a great workaround. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to hold anything against him. If anybody that sticks around in Winnipeg, Edmonton, Calgary, Ottawa, Toronto, whatever, and they're like, I'm not doing that again because it was too cold, I would not hold it against them.
You won't be like, yeah, no.
Our our winters are harsh weather-wise, and especially if you're from a warmer climate. I'm not going to.
I don't even know where he's from.
Whatsoever. I want to ask you, you've been down at camp.
Yeah.
How's it been? What are you noticing?
Good. The pace of practice is lovely to watch.
Yeah.
And to see. If you could put a video at the top of Commonwealth and time lapse of practice, you wouldn't see many wasted steps.
Ah.
You would see what looks to be an ant colony working together, moving fastly, moving efficiently. Mark Hillam's running a hell of a practice.
Yeah.
From what I can see. Yeah.
How can you tell? What are indicators? I know efficiency. You're talking about efficiency, and all right, next play. Next
I always
drill,
look at the guys on the
defense
sideline.
here.
I don't look at the guys, or I look at the guys that aren't in the drill.
Okay.
And are they engaged, or are they shooting the you know what on the sideline?
I went to camp the last couple of years. I would do 1 or 2 days at most, but there was a lot of shooting the you know what on the sideline.
If they are talking, I saw Zach Mathis and Tyrell Ford talking 3 times on separate occasions. Now they're roommates, they're housemates, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't like, hey man, what'd you get up to last night, or why were you?
What are we having for dinner tonight?
It was hey, how Tyrell was teaching him, you could have done this to create separation on that route. Stuff that's useful as opposed to stuff that's not. And you can just tell that there was a special teams portion at camp yesterday. And nothing irks a coach more than when guys aren't prepared. Because what happens is this: before you go out on the field, all the special teams setups or sets are put on a whiteboard or on a large piece of paper, and it says who's at what position. So that when special teams comes around and that whistle blows, okay, I'm on punt cover, I'm on kickoff return, and I'm on field goal. And here's where I am. Okay, because they run through it fast.
Yep.
So they called for punt cover, and they also have the show me team, which is so punt covers when you're kicking.
Okay.
They also have a defense that is also on that board.
Yep.
That's just mock. You're just giving us a look.
Okay.
One guy was missing from that, and Killam lost his mind from the dummy team. Not acceptable.
Well,
And-
he was a special teams guru.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So to me and as fans that are wondering what's going on, awesome. That let's just say this: I don't think that player will make that mistake again. And this is the other thing during camp. If you're on the show me squad,
Yeah.
you're on the fringe. This is not. They're not putting Tyrell Ford on that.
Right.
They're not putting Jake Serezna on that. So that's your opportunity to show heart, show hustle, show focus.
Yes.
That they can trust you if you make this squad. So that was interesting to see. But yeah, I just was very impressed with the pace and the organization, I guess, of it all. Very well run.
Chris alluded to something along those lines too. I mean, I know he wasn't a part of the organization last couple of years, but he did kind of say something to that effect of, I think it was professionalism was a term he used, or so that speaks to that. Yeah, Jay, I'm glad you've been down there because it's good to get a.
Well, Hernan's there right now too, and I think
there's
he's going to
another
get
guy,
some.
great resource.
Yeah, he's going to get some audio. But in talking with people from around there, and Hernan, I guarantee you, will say the same thing. This is different. This is a different training camp. So I was there yesterday. Hernan's there today. Maddie and I are going to be there tomorrow. Well, not there. We're going to be at Emerald Hills in Sherwood Park.
Yeah, 2025 Elks Fan Day. It is tomorrow at the Emerald Hill in Sherwood Park from 10 until 2 at the Emerald Hill Sports Pavilion. Come on down. You can get autographs from the players. The players begin practice, they say, at 11 o'clock. They'll take to the field. You can get autographs between 1 and 2. A couple of alum signing autographs include Giz, Sean Fleming, AJ Gass, Matt O'Donnell. I love how you could just say Giz.
Yeah.
Everyone else is saying the full names, but it's just Giz.
That's true.
You know who Giz is. We don't even have to explain that one. There are food trucks, things for kids. You go stock up on the new gear for the green and gold. We will be there. We'll be live from noon until 2 on Edmonton Sports Talk.
I'm going to bring my whole flag football team over and put them on the screen with us because we play at Emerald Hills from 11 to 11:55.
And they could stand there. Hopefully, we'll get a few Elks players to talk to tomorrow. And so that's going to be after Hello Hockey,
yes.
Which is from 10 until noon. But you could come on down to Sherwood Park, go see how the Elks are looking yourself. Their first preseason game goes next Saturday down in Calgary. Then they're home the Friday, I believe it is, after. It's the 30th here in Edmonton.
Yep.
And then the season gets going. They're out in BC. Green and Gold
7th,
Kickoff Show will get going. It's
I
close.
can't wait.
Me too.
I'm so
nervous.
excited. I'm actually.
We talked about
I'm
this.
almost most excited to just hang out with Maddie on a Friday night.
I like your guys'
Saturday
show.
night and watch some football together.
It's a fun weekend.
Yeah.
It is.
We had a good time last
It
year.
was a great time. Oh yeah.
Just watching football. It was great.
It's a great program. Yes,
Program.
I said program.
Program.
I'll be in Calgary for that one. I've got the Ticats Stamps game on the 7th. So then I'll do that game.
Oh, was there a doubleheader that day?
I guess so. So I'll
Well,
do that
yeah.
game, then I'll watch.
That's an 8:30 start.
you guys and
or
then
8
the game.
o'clock start.
Yeah, so then they're not doing Sunday week 1. They're starting Sunday the week after.
Because
there's a lot of Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, which I love.
Dusty and I don't have a lot of games together this year.
So this is public knowledge now. I
Oh
didn't-
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on CFL. And
So you're
TSN
doing
full
it.
time.
That's hey, round of clicks for our guy Tommy.
Round of
eh?
clicks.
Thank you.
It's about time they get that beautiful face on there full time.
I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited. So yeah.
I love you. I love watching what you're gonna wear as your sideline gear because you dress very well.
I try to.
You do.
Yeah. Thank you, Jay.
Yeah.
I'm very, very excited. I think it's Chantel Shand and myself will be sharing Calgary, and then Shaggy's a busy boy, so I'll happily take every Elks game.
So when you go do that Calgary game, are you just booking it home after, or
No, I'm staying.
they put you up?
Yeah.
That's nice.
It's cool, but I love working with Dusty, obviously, but he said it. They do have him out east quite a bit this year, and so I don't know. He's probably giving you his schedule, but that
I have his
probably affects
schedule.
he might be moving. He might be away more than he was last year. But yeah, Marshall Ferguson and Rod Smith are coming out here quite a bit. I've never met Rod Smith, so I'm like, oh, okay. It's kind of neat, but I'm super excited. I've been to a few games, Labor Day games in Calgary, but I've never worked a game there, so.
Exciting.
Very exciting. And I got to talk to Richie and Jared at Modern, see if
Yeah.
we can come up with something for the summer.
I was gonna say, boys in modern measure can get you good looking.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Benny knows.
I know.
Benny knows.
Hella hockey stuff. Mm-hmm. Watch the segment every week with the boys showing some
Not
good
by
suits.
choice.
Not well, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be watching anyway though. They're great stuff.
Yeah.
There's a solid producer right there.
Yeah.
He's excellent. That's why he's very seamless.
He knows what to say.
transition.
He knows what to
Yeah.
say too, though. There, yeah. Even if I wasn't,
sponsor.
I
Why
shouldn't
Friends
have
of
to.
the show.
why don't we dive into Benny a bit here?
Mm-hmm.
I think this should be Benny's.
Yeah, because what the best part is the Oilers. We don't even know when the Oilers play.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. It just really quickly. It's either Wednesday or Thursday for the Oilers. I'll just say that,
Boom.
depending on which team wins.
Where's the breaking alert sound?
And God bless the Winnipeg Jets.
Yes. Otherwise,
Yeah.
we would have been talking about Game 1 tomorrow. No joke.
But so that we have there's a lot. It's nice to just relax,
Isn't it?
Not have to talk Oilers. For
I can
a little
watch
bit.
the Knicks. I can watch the Knicks game tonight.
Not
There you
to,
go.
to be disrespectful to but it's nice to just take that little break. They're we don't have to dissect every little detail of this team.
Yeah.
So let's dissect Benny. What are we?
Open book.
What are we dissecting here, Jay? Where do you want to go?
Well, where do we want to? Do we want to start with your first memory? Just period.
I'm googling. There's some people that are saying online, I remember. Being
No.
born.
You
So
don't
when-
have the brain
when-
capacity.
What's the
when you come out of
age?
the womb, you're not even really breathing on your own. You have to
Yeah.
finally learn to breathe. Prior to that, you're breathing fluid.
I'm trying to think. I think my first memory ever is my grandma teaching me how to say computer.
Really?
Yep. I remember her like
That would lead
mouthing
me
it
to-
out to me
yeah.
like computer. And
That
I
would
said,
lead me to
computer.
believe that you were mispronouncing it.
Yes.
What were you saying?
I think it was like,
Pooter?
yeah, computer.
That's a good one. That's actually pretty close.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. I that's my, I don't know, my first memory. Or asking my mom if I could have this 7-Up. And she was on the phone. She was very busy. She goes, yeah, sure. And then I opened it. And then like she turned around and she goes, I said you could have that, didn't I? I was like, yep. And I had a 7-Up when I was like 5 years old. Or something. Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
she realized her mistake.
I was so bad for like sugar growing up. Oh my! Like,
Were you?
Oh, I like they had like fruit roll-ups and stuff, and like I would like sneak into the pantry and like they'd like leave me for literally 5 minutes. I'd have like my whole face is covered in like color and to just like stuffing my face and that stuff. Like I'm sure Nate the Builder is gonna be able to go and rant about this in the chat. Like it was bad, and yeah, sugar like the rushes I'd get and stuff. I was bad.
Guys, how old are you?
I'm 22 now.
22. So that means what year are you? You were
03.
born in 03.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have a fun facts about the year, Benny's birth year.
Oh, two?
I graduated high
03,
school.
he said.
03.
Oh, three,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
I graduated 3 years prior to that.
The Edmonton Elks won their first Grey Cup in 10 years. It's the Eskimos at the time in 2003. The
go.
Heritage
In-
Classic was
Yes,
that year.
if you're listening, send in some fun facts about
you
Benny's
go.
birth year.
2003
Like, I want to know what was the #1 song.
year facts.
You
Our
know.
grad song was "Here's to the Night" by Eve Six, which is not really a romantic song.
Oh, that was huge for grad songs.
Yeah.
Our grad song was a Spice Girls song. I forget which one it was. It was the slow one.
Okay.
Like,
You guys had grad songs?
We did?
didn't have a grad song?
It was like just one big song that was just known as the grad song.
I know. Well, I mean, my grad was different because
Were
it
you
was
a
like
COVID
Yeah, I was
grad?
near the end of
That
COVID.
sucks.
Oh,
Yeah,
that does suck.
actual. It was like so the COVID one ruined the 2020 grad class, and like they had no ceremony at all. Ours was very like it was outside, and they grouped you into like your friend groups, and like
Yeah.
went on the stage. All the parents of that friend group got to sit outside, watch it go across the stage. But there was no like big ceremony somewhere or anything. It was all like outside, get your diploma, walk around, sign a couple things, and then you're gone. So it was actually pretty sweet.
The #1 song in 2003 was 50 Cent's In the Club.
Yes, it
Yeah,
was.
Yeah.
What
Yes,
a banger.
It was.
And guess
Yeah.
what, Benny? I was listening to that song in the club.
Clear.
You were like
When you were saying, Pooter, 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 Pooter,
you were in the
I was
club.
saying
I was
that
in
at
the
that point.
club.
I was-
You were in diapers.
I'm making this Hangout headlines for the Ranch Golf and Country Club. From premier golf facilities to the corporate branded products, the Ranch, your all-in-one tournament host, proud host to over 180 tournaments each year, including the EST Golf Classic, presented by Play Alberta. They're here to help you execute all your tournament ideas. Book your tournament today or your tee time today by visiting theranchgolf.com. Okay, so here's some of the things I'm finding. Lord of the Rings won 11 Oscars that year. The Return of the King. Michael Jordan retired after playing for the Wizards. That happened in 2003. The 5 most popular TV shows. Any cares to guesses of what would be the top
Okay,
TV shows of
2003?
2000? So this is 3 to 4. They're saying
Is Friends still there?
the Friends is number 3.
Seinfeld?
No, that was
Nope,
done.
that was done. 99 was it done? I think
Okay, what about ER?
number 5.
NYPD Blue?
No,
CSI.
number 1.
CSI?
I liked
Two left.
CSI. Great show.
The Office?
No, 1 is still on TV to this day.
Survivor.
Surprisingly, no. It is a singing competition.
American Idol?
Yes, it's number 2. Number 4
Clues.
involves the President of the United States of America.
The Apprentice.
The Apprentice.
Oh, The Apprentice.
Yeah.
Yeah. CSI, American Idol, Friends, The Apprentice, and ER. Those were your top 5 shows of the year.
Wow. We did pretty good.
You guys
Yeah.
did very well.
Yeah.
A brand new Ford Ranger cost $9,000 American. A Mazda Portage
And I
sedan.
still wouldn't buy one.
A Mazda Portage sedan was $11,500.
Oh, jeez.
What do we got here for other things? I don't want food.
My dad says the Tampa Bay Bucks won the Super Bowl the weekend before I was born.
Yes.
Oh,
Warren Sapp.
also Jan baby.
Yeah, it was a
Brad
Jam-
Johnson.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Speaking of
Like
Michael
that.
Jordan retiring, he is joining NBC Sports as a special
Yes.
contributor to their NBA coverage beginning with the 2025-26 season. So he's not going to be calling games, but I think he'll come in and
Panel.
maybe panel.
Yeah.
I think like the Gretzky type thing with
Right.
TNT.
Yeah.
My April brought this to my attention last night. She says, "Yeah, Michael Jordan's joining NBC." My first reaction was, "What? Why?
Yeah.
Don't. You don't need it. You don't. Why? You don't even like to be busy. You want to golf." And my
golf.
what if he sucks like
He
Tom
could.
Brady did or does?
Yeah. You know what? It might be becoming a novelty thing, Jay. Like it started with the NBA.
Like I'm a
guys.
broadcaster.
Well, they see how much fun they're having. And I think it
That's
started
what happened to me.
Yeah. The NBA guys.
Furniture
and
to broadcasting. If I can do it, Benny, you can too.
Thank you.
Well, is
then it's
it
like Lionel Hutch.
Is what's LeBron going to do when his career is over?
Oh boy.
Is he going to jump on a panel?
Just want something to do.
Is MJ looking to? Oh, he just tired of Clark MacArthur.
I
He's a
hope
very nice
LeBron
guy.
doesn't.
I don't know, but maybe so MJ is trying to get the jump on it so that he for his legacy. They all care about their legacy.
But here's the thing: like they've got the best group going already.
Yeah, but you're not getting them if you're NBC.
Yeah.
I know, but I just don't. Here's the thing: you don't have to have all these replications of panels and panels and panels. Everybody does it now. Like I just and they're trying to find the fit, and it's always the same people, but just different sports. You know, somebody should try come up with something different, innovative. I don't know, do something like I don't know, but it's like everybody's got a panel now.
But well, there's always been a panel.
But
Yeah.
I guess like a hot stove panel where they're actually giving like that's why
don't know,
Barkley and Shaq and Kenny and Ernie are the best because they say what they think.
Yeah, and
They aren't muzzled by anybody.
And what they get to is like that they did it in the pros. Like Shaq could go to the rings and the MVPs. Charles could go to his MVP and how good he was. Kenny was a really good player too. That when they say like,
But
to
they
a
happen
player,
to be good at what they do too now.
they are now, but they could also criticize a player. They can go out there and criticize LeBron James if they want to. And if anyone goes, "Who are you?" Shaq could be like, "Look at these rings."
yeah.
Like, who am I? I'm one of the best to ever do this.
Yeah.
And that was the problem, I think, a lot of other sports is that they don't have, like tennis is actually really good. They have great people. Former greats are in the booth of tennis. But like hockey and maybe baseball stuff, you don't have the best. So if they maybe don't want to criticize players because then they get criticized and it's like, well, who are you? Yeah. Like, how could you criticize Mike Trout for what he's doing what did you do in your career? So they just needed some of those best players. I don't know. The panel's always been there. Like this TSN panel, do you remember? It was Dave Randorf, Jock Climby, Matt Dunnigan, Chris Schultz. Great panel.
That was
Great panel.
Probably the tippy top. Well, I like
And that was the 2000s.
I like Milt Stiegel a lot.
Milt's great. I'm a huge Milt fan.
I hate to say it, but Jock Climby was probably one of the worst.
You want to know something? I could see why people would say that. But that was in the early 2000s.
He didn't let his personality come out.
But that was a
or
solid-
maybe that is his personality. He is a lawyer.
That was a solid panel talking football.
Yep.
They
Dunnigan
served their
was good,
pieces.
yeah.
They served their roles. They had some fun. I remember going into the Grey Cups. They did some fun bits and stuff too. So I don't know. The panel's always been there.
Randorf is awesome. I love Dave. When he's here he's the play-by-play guy for the Lightning on their TV broadcast. He's just a really good dude. Really good dude. That was excellent.
It was a great panel.
Yeah.
We had Dave Randorf on our show. He's a big IPA guy.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Big. Bit of an oxymoron. He's a little dude.
He's just a wee fellow. Not like Ben.
Thank
Ben's
you.
a big dude.
Yeah, you caught
It
on
took
to
me a
that.
little bit after.
So what was...
2003, by the way, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, Finding Nemo, Pirates of the Caribbean, Matrix Reloaded, Bruce Almighty, X2, Elf, Terminator
X2 was
3,
awesome.
The Matrix Revolutions, and Cheaper by the Dozen were the top movies of that time, highest grossing.
This text says the space shuttle Discovery burned up when
Yes.
coming into. Oh, that was sad. So sad. I think a foam panel had popped off or something like that. If I recall correctly.
Yes.
Yeah, that was awful.
I don't even like watching that. Like, sometimes it'll resurface maybe on its anniversary or something. I
Yeah.
don't like watching it.
The Columbia one, there's great documentaries on it. There was one on Netflix a while ago. I like Smithsonian Channel and like National Geographic and history, but yeah, it's super sad. Super sad.
I got some fun facts of 2023
Please.
as well that I'll quickly rattle off.
2023?
2003, sorry. Popular baby names. Unfortunately, Benny's not on here.
Wow. Original.
Jacob, Aiden, Ethan, Matthew, Emily, Emma, Madison, and Hannah.
I can name people that are all named that are
Hannah
my age.
Montana must have been popping at
Yep.
that point.
Favorite Christmas gifts: Barbie as Supergirl, Barbie as Wonder Woman, Beyblades, Game Boy Advance were on there. Popular video games included Call of Duty.
Oh, yeah.
Enter the Matrix, Simpsons Hit and Runs in here, Tony Hawk's
love that.
Underground.
Yeah, that was good.
Time Magazine's Person of the Year was the American Soldier because it was the
Iraq.
invasion of Iraq.
Yeah.
Cost of a Super Bowl ad, $2.1 million. Fashion trends included airbrush shirts, butterfly clips, frosted lip gloss, halter tops, jeans with no back pockets, lace-up jeans, low-rise jeans,
Oh, yeah.
popcorn shirts, rhinestones, studded belts, tattoo choker necklaces, and trucker hats.
Yeah.
Trucker hats are making their way back.
In 2003, newbie was slang for someone who was inexperienced.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Look at Benny and
just
I, just a couple newbies sitting there.
Yeah,
noob.
look at that.
Oh,
I might
okay.
go find my
One
wife
more.
a pair of pocketless pants.
Over low rise.
Those were
In high
fantastic.
school, I mean, I was in 11th or 12th grade.
No
I-
back pockets.
Those
Were like
low-rise jeans
Lululemons
were
before
just like-
Lululemons were out. Let's just say it. Maybe that's what inspired Lululemons.
I got three more.
Could
Just
be.
sorry, and then I'll stop with this. Apple unveiled Safari, their web browser. So it's been around since that long. The favorite web browsers included Internet Explorer, Netscape Navigator,
I remember that.
yeah, Opera, and Mozilla Navigator. That was before Firefox was released.
Mozilla.
The top 10 most popular website. This is how we'll end it. 2023. Yahoo, AOL, MSN, Microsoft, eBay, Google, Go.com. I remember Go.com. Netscape, Windows Media, and Weather.com.
I remember MSN Messenger around that time. Mm-hmm. That's how it was before text messaging was really huge. You'd go on your computer and you'd open up MSN and you could see who was online.
Yes.
Who was offline. And you just talk with them. Yeah.
And then you could send like little, that's when emojis would go and
Yeah.
stuff.
Wow.
And then ASL was a big thing.
Somebody named Nate the Builder in the nasty chat says, Nate the Builder's your dad?
no,
Okay.
no.
He says, you guys should ask Benny about his airband career.
I briefly remember
this
this.
goes here,
Yeah,
and, go ahead.
I briefly remember this. I don't know. Like I don't like. I've always been like, I don't know, like my nickname. Like I can't remember what coach gave me this nickname, but like like my full name's Benjamin. So it's
No way.
Ben.
Oh, I
yeah,
didn't know.
yeah, no,
Okay.
breaking news. But people would call me like Ben Jammin because like I was always jamming music, or I was like I was passionately like rock out.
Yeah.
And so when I was very young, like I was very into like drums and like, what's the game called?
Guitar Hero.
Guitar Hero.
Grand Rockstar.
We play as a family, the whole deal. Yeah. So I always like growing up thought I was a rock star. I looked after, my favorite band growing up. My mom put me onto this was Mariana's Trench, and I would dye my hair blue and like sway it to the right. It's
Are you
on.
going to do this summer when they're
Please
back
do.
at K-Days?
Yeah, I'm actually going. My friends are going.
Are you going to dye your hair though?
Maybe I actually might.
That'd be awesome.
If somehow some people want to find this, there's 2 YouTube videos of me rocking out to Mariana's Trench and I Got a Feeling by Black Eyed Peas.
Nice.
And there's like it's like me, my 2 sisters, and the 2 neighbors, and I'm like the lead singer rocking out to those 2.
So there is a history here of air guitar.
Yes.
How far back how far gone are you from your air guitar career?
I haven't like
was this high
Haven't
school
touched an air
talent
guitar in
show?
years.
no, it went away pretty quick. It got replaced by hockey pretty quick.
Okay.
Do you think you still got it though?
Oh, absolutely, I do. I
So
know,
if like we go grab our air guitar in the other room and bring it in here
Yeah.
for you.
I got a song ready to go.
Okay, what's your music taste? Oh,
Hey.
he's got it.
He's got the guitar.
with the
Come on, stand up.
Well, don't have to stand up.
Get into
Stand
it.
up.
How do you air guitar without standing up? Come on.
We can't see him.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, for those on YouTube, you can see this.
little sway.
Good sway.
Wow.
You're just like
For those on
Henry
the audio
Kravitz.
stream,
Thank
Benny
you.
was just air guitaring for us. Yeah, round of
I was
clicks.
gonna say, round of clicks for that.
Okay, so what's your music taste? Like, what are you into?
So I'm like, I'd say like hip hop mainly. I wasn't actually like, I was more like a casual, just whatever sounded good to the ear for a while, and then I worked a full-time job at a cabinet factory, which I still work at, but besides the point. And I hated it there. And so I was like, okay, I need something to like distract myself. So if it wasn't like listening to like a radio show or something, I would like go back and like older like hip hop albums and like go through those. And so now I'd say like I'm pretty enlightened on like, I'd say from like 20, not too old, like 2010s to now probably, but like I'm very big like Drake fan or like J. Cole or like those type of hip hop rap, like those type of guys. So I that's where I lean to, but I like, honestly, I like all types of music though. Like I don't really, not too picky.
I like that.
Quite eclectic, one would say.
Yeah. Some would say I'm not very like wherever we're out, like I've been to country festivals. Our family's gone for a very long time. And then like I plan on going to BVGA this summer. But then I'm also like hip hop. I honestly like anything that sounds good to me is good. Like, I don't
So this might be interesting because this always fascinated me, but you guys are more used to it than people that haven't been through it and experienced it. But like having a practicum student, like what's the process, Benny, of like you're at Nate?
Yep.
So walk us through what stage of what you're in and
Yeah.
what stage you're at right now.
So yeah, I started. I went to the NATE radio and television program. I started in 2023, that January, and then it was in the first semester. One of my instructors was just like, "Don't be scared to like reach out whenever you want." Like it's like he's seen people start the program and then not even finish it because they got hired by a company like right away. So it was like, okay, like I would like to get a head start. So I remember, I think I emailed Dusty here or something. And I was like, all right, big fan of the show. Would love to meet you guys or whatever. I eventually came in the office and met some of the guys. This is before afternoon shows were going on. I believe it was just still Nielsen Show and the Hangout, and then Lock Shop. So I was doing that and then met the boys and then continued my first semester. Had last summer off where I just worked, and then had the second semester start in September. That went through to the Christmas break, and then I got hired by Tommy and Belzy for Hello Hockey during that time. So was in and around the office quite a bit every weekend, and then I just wrapped up my third semester that started in January, and then that ended early April. So now I'm in my last part of the program where I'm doing my practicum until August, and then I'll be graduated in the middle of August. So, but I won't get to celebrate the grad until next June.
Yeah.
So
I didn't go to that.
yeah, I don't know if I
living in Lloyd
want to
at the
either, but I'm
time.
sure my parents are gonna want me to see.
What if by then you're already like an established, broadcaster, and you're
Well,
like, I'm above this.
He's
man.
already
Yeah, like
working
you're
with us
making,
on Hello
yeah.
Hockey.
See, I was like you though. I did my practicum to the summer.
Yeah.
And mine was then the next year.
Yeah.
It was nice to just get back together with the people. Like it didn't matter. Like you go to the convocation, do that.
Yeah,
but then
yeah.
it was going for drinks after. It was
That-
that was nice.
That was I think that's the only part like that makes me want to go is like we had a pretty tight knit group. Like you originally start off with like a group of I think it's like 25 of us. In the first semester, and then after your first semester, you pick between radio and television. And so I think majority of kids went to television, and so there was only like 10 of us in radio, and like 2 or 3 people dropped out while we were going through the second semester. So I think there was 8 of us by the end of it all, and we all like you're around these people every day, so it's like, and you're like on air with them. You're like you're pretty much forced to get to know them, and they were all very cool people. So. So yeah, that we all became pretty close, and so like I'm not gonna be able to see them really for a while. So it's more gonna be like a reunion for me when I go back in next June.
Gold medal Mark Texan says Nate Ooks unit radio grad 2007 Grand Prairie for my field placement. I think I'm still paying that off. I had Lloyd, and that station just got shut down this week. CKSA, CITL. Very sad, disappointing, very very disappointing. Stingray shut them down.
Wow.
I was specifically with Jason Greger. I was not with 1260. I was with Greger.
You were on Gregor's show, yeah, because
And
Gregor
then-
was part of 1260, but his own element.
So I was his practicum, and then I also then jumped on and did some work around with the station if I needed to. But I was Greger's practicum student.
But like you going through a practicum, Tommy going through like does it now give you guys? I guess does it make it? Do you streamline it to try and remove some hiccups or remove some maybe not bad experiences, but just things that you would change now because you've been through it? Now that we've had Zach come, we've had Brendan, and now we have Benny. Have you changed your approach through those three people? And how much did that mold you from your experiences as a practicum student?
I didn't use any. I don't know about my experience as much. Maybe that I've drawn on it.
And we had some at 1260.
We had a lot at 1260.
Yeah.
JMO and I, we used to have them, and the practicum kids were with like the night show where they did other things. And then finally, we didn't think that the practicum students were getting enough of an experience. So JMO and I were like, we're taking over. And any practicum student that came on was stuck with JMO and I. And so when we did it, so now here, I guess the learning curve is trying to do things here similar to there, but we have some things that we don't do here that we did there or stuff, and try to melt
vice
that
versa.
all in.
Yeah.
Yes, the video is a brand new component and stuff. No, the only thing is I try for my goal, taking on practicum students, is I'm not using it as just free labor. I want them to learn what it takes to do the job. Like I remember at the old place, so there's a job, there's the street teamers, and the street teamers go out and they do things.
I was on the street team.
You can hire street teams doing nothing, and for the large part, it's nothing. I'm not like it's
Confirmed.
a foot. It's a foot in the door of a radio station. If you can get your foot in the door, take a street team job.
They're so big on that.
But
school.
they can hire
So
anyone
big.
for that.
Yeah.
And I remember we got one application in from somebody in like Calgary, and my boss like, you should reach out to this person. I was like, well, we don't have a spot. Like we had some part-time people that were off air. I was like, if I brought them on, I'd have to take hours away from these off air people right now, and I can't do that. I'm like, as much as I want to help out kids, these people are getting paid and their livelihood's coming down to this. So I'm like, I can't. I was like, well, yeah, we could just throw them on the street team. I was like, well, no, like that's a waste of an experience. They're not learning anything on the street team.
Yeah.
We're just using this completely for free labor. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll give them a call. And it's like, you told the person we don't have a spot. And I told my boss, yeah, it just didn't work out. Because that's the thing. I won't waste the practicums. Like
That's good.
If I don't have a job, like if I can't have you come in here and actually do some work over time, like Benny's still not doing a lot of work fully yet. There's more to come, and
We work them like a dog on the weekends. don't worry.
perfect. But getting him on the Hangout a little bit more, like it's what people want. They want to be on air. They don't want to just do our mindless work that we're just throwing completely that way. I want to get to that point where we're giving more, learning how to book guests, all that stuff. If I can't give that to you, go get a practicum somewhere else.
Yeah.
Learn.
Yeah.
My practicum, Jay, in Lloyd, it was 2008. It was when the financial crisis hit, and it was a skeleton crew at back then it was New Cap News, CITL, CKSA, and I went in there. I moved to Lloyd, got a apartment with Chris Geese, who was at the radio station in the same building, and the first day I job shadowed and followed around the news reporter. Her name's Sarah Offen. She's at Global Calgary now. Great broadcaster, super nice. She showed me the ropes. I went on shoot with her. I listened in on interviews. But I had already done a bunch of hockey stuff. I had worked for the Score for 2 years already. But this was news, right? Because everybody wanted to do sports. And after the first day, she goes, "Well, Tom, today was my last day. I'm going to Calgary, and I wish you well. You're the new news reporter." And then Stacy Comer, who was the news director there, was like, "Yeah, Tom, you are our news reporter." And I was the practicum student.
Wow.
That's how short-staffed we were. And I screwed up so many times. Agriculture reports I had to do. I had to learn how to do weather. And then I got to the desk and this and that. I was hired by I think the second month full time. And but like Maddie said, you want to be immersed in it, so you're actually learning how to become a better broadcaster and starting to carve your abilities and hone them to where you want to go. But I just remember Sarah being like, "Well, good luck, Tom. You're the new news reporter." I was like,
That's
"What?"
crazy.
Yeah. That's
I ended up
scary.
I ended up in a standoff like my second or third week. Guy holed up with a gun, and my shooter and we end up. There was always behind the tape, behind the cars, right? Behind the police cars, behind the tape. and we're in the middle of the road. This guy's holed up in a duplex or something, and I'm looking around, and all these like RCMP officers. There's like a long rifle. They got their 9mm handguns. I look on the roof across the street. There's a sniper, and one guy's got a shotgun in close. And I'm like, oh man, this is unbelievable. What a tense situation. And then my camera guy's just like shooting film. And I'm looking at the windows. I'm like, that guy, if he's in there with a gun, could just shoot us right now. So I look at my camera guy. I'm like, hey, do you notice the cops all hiding behind stuff? And they have guns. Yeah. We have a camera. Shouldn't we get like somewhere safer? And he's like, oh yeah, good idea. And we went and like hid behind a building. And in a store with this lady's like, what's going on? And we're like, standoff. Guy has a gun in there. And she's like, oh my God, stay in here. That was a very, like, smack you in the face. Like, you're in the crap now. Yeah. Learn how to deal with it. But I just remember looking at my camera guy, looking at all the cops with guns. I'm like, we should probably move.
Wow.
He's like, yeah, you're right. I'm like, okay.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it was wild.
And going to the wolves like first thing at practicums. Like it's like
good.
It's scary at first, but like I'm sure it helped a lot.
You're doing great though.
Thank you.
I wish I was in news to a degree at times.
It was neat.
I love the news,
but there was like days where it was painful.
But like when JMO knows this best though to me, like when there's big news stories happening or like election nights, that's when I'm most like, oh, I wish I was in the newsroom. I wish I was able to experience this or being that type of person. I think it'd be like it would have been a cool experience. Like you watch like CNN, like they go to the war in Ukraine happens and they head there as it's happening. I find that to be just incredible. I would love to have done that.
Yeah, when a newsroom's hopping, it's fun. Like it's cool. You get this rise of
energy.
Emotion. Yeah.
Well, we've had that here too, where there's
that here,
where there's days like breaking news or big announcements.
Well, coaching firings or hirings or GM firings, hirings, which we've had a lot of experience of.
Yeah, that's true.
Those can be exciting. Trade deadlines are always fun. Free agency can be a little fun. The reason I say little is it's usually July 1 and it's Canada Day. You kind of want to get going. So there are those days too. But yeah, I'm a news junkie too, though.
One of my fellow grads is in the inbox, Jay Horbay. What's up, Jay? Says RTA grad 07. Glad you're enjoying your practicum, Benny. I did mine in Ontario, and it was a bit of a waste. So yeah, Horbs. I remember Jay very well. Good to hear from you, Jay. Great guy. And yeah, because everyone's scattered, right? But your placement, it was important.
Yeah.
So Jay went and did his in Ontario and didn't get what he, I guess, wanted out of it. You lose touch with some people too sometimes. I know a girl from our class that went to the Oprah Winfrey show or Ellen DeGeneres.
Wow.
And she was just like a PA for 4 months.
Somebody went to a couple class semesters before me. They went to SNL.
That would have been awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, every so often you hear of that one big practicum that happens.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's me with Edmonton Sports Talk. Everyone's like, wow. That guy's going to EST.
You kiss ass
Hey,
like
this guy,
no
well
one
done.
else.
Thank you.
Just so
Thank you.
natural too, and
Hey, kissing ass is a
properly.
great skill to have, brother.
Also never knew that Nate the Builder was your dad.
Oh, so
Like
he's
that.
he's just been a texting guy for a while.
Well, and it's one of these things too. It's a good point. It's you never know when somebody's going to come back into your circle, or you're going to need to, like. It's just funny how things happen. So I would say that would be maybe a lesson for anybody, but especially a younger person that's going in school, going to enter the real workforce, is try as hard as you can not to burn bridges.
No. Actually, I just remind me too. When Eric was hired as a practicum at 1260, I knew Eric. I met Eric prior. I shared an office with his brother Lucas of Whale and the Wolf. And I met Eric at a Yukon Jack shuffleboard tournament.
Yes.
And so we had a couple chats. So I knew Eric a little bit. He came in for an interview with our boss, Vav, at the time. And we go in and we're having this conversation. Eric's like making reference to Lucas and Ryan because they're there. And our boss was just like, and I'm like, I don't think he knows who this guy is. Like, I don't think he knows that he's related to Lucas or grew up
Vav
with
didn't
Ryan.
catch on?
I don't think he caught on because like Ryan, like every so often, he'd be like, yeah, with Ryan living with him or something. And I could see Vav's face. I'm like, I don't think he picks up that that's Ryan that he's talking about. So I walk Eric out. I come back to Vav. I'm like, hey, like, did you know that that's Lucas's brother? He's like, what? No. And I was like, oh, that's perfect. Like for Eric though, it was like he got the job. He got with Vav. He got the practicum based off pure merit.
Right, he's a great broadcaster.
Well, that was the thing,
though.
and I was like, "That's a good thing for Eric right there." To like, because it could have been just like, "Oh yeah, you're Ryan's best for buddies of Ryan, Luke's brother." Yeah, of course we'll bring you on or something. But no, he got it full on merit, and the reason I know like throughout right was just like, yeah, I went to Bav after. I'm like, you know that's Luke's brother,
Good instinct.
and
on your
he's
part.
like, oh no, I was like, yeah, and then rest is history. He was all with the morning show practicum.
Boys House. Raima and I were on the street team together before he got hired by the Bear full time.
Speaking of Rima and Lucas, the house band, Will and the Wolf of Edmonton Sports Talk, they got a show coming up May 31st. So that's in 2 Saturdays from now. Not next week, the week after. May 31st, Rocky Mountain Ice House. They're calling it an evening with Whale and the Wolf. Doing some new music, doing some old music. I don't believe they've performed any of the new music live, so it's the first time being able to hear it. They've been recording some things. There's like a handful of tickets still available, so if you want to go, get your tickets now. Whale and the Wolf on IG. I'm going to double check that, make sure I get that correct. whaleandwolf.com is their website. Yeah, Whale and the Wolf on IG. There's the link right in their bio to go get the tickets. Again, there's like just a handful left, but we do have a pair of tickets to give away here at the Hangout. We got another pair of tickets to give away. I'm very generous saying I got you a couple tickets to give away in the show these last couple of weeks, so we're going to give our last pair today.
I'm going to that show. I'm taking April.
How do we want to give these away?
Oh, okay. We got to include Benny.
like
You got to guess something about Benny.
Oh,
What would
Oh,
it
but
be?
then we have to know the answer like right off the bat.
That's fine.
No, I have
Oh.
a good one.
Okay.
Do you want me to say it?
Yeah, to go. We'll see if it's good. Like
What video game series was Ben ranked top 5 in the world?
I love it.
I'll go with that.
Yep.
780-218-9999.
You're on the text line,
You'll
Johnny?
go into a
I'm on
draw.
the text line.
I'll deal with it after.
Okay.
Because
Cool,
I
You'll do
got
a
to
draw.
get the info
Yeah,
and
sure.
get it to Ryan. But 780-218-9999. Enter your chance to get.
Are you going to that show?
I plan on it.
Yeah.
We'll see
Anybody
what the Oilers'
else?
schedules looks like. I gotta wait for the Oilers'
Just
schedule.
you? Or
Nah, we'll see.
Oh.
Got to see what the Oilers' schedule looks like. That's what I'm
I'm bringing
waiting for.
April, my
Cool.
wife,
I got to see what the Oilers' schedule
whom I
looks like.
love
I got to see what the Oilers' schedule looks like.
dearly, I must say.
She's a lovely woman.
She's the
Yeah.
What do they say? The apple of my eye, or the no, the love of my. What do we say? I don't know.
I know,
Matt,
I
what
know
do they
what you're
say?
talking about.
Yeah.
Do you know what they say? What? I thought you'd be good at this stuff, this love stuff.
By the way, Whale and the Wolf, their official merch partner is The Hive. The Hive is also the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Promotional products that bring the buzz. Check them out, thehiveproductmarketing.com. He's Jay, he's Benny, he's Tommy, I am Matt. This is the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage on your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, Edmonton Sports Talk. Thank you to everyone for listening live on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tune in, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, on watching on YouTube or listening wherever you get your podcasts. And Edmonton Sports Talk proudly presented by Play Alberta. Jamie Benn, $5,000 fine for yesterday. I saw that come across my phone. I immediately was going to go somewhere else, and now
How
I've
did
lost my
Shifley
train
get a
of thought.
penalty on that? He got a 2-minute roughing
Yeah.
penalty.
Yeah.
You got smoked, though. Jeez.
I was intently watching that game.
So was I.
Our whole house was.
I was like, go Jets, please.
Well, I mean, let's just if that game went to Dallas and the series was over, we were of the belief that the NHL would push the next series, Western Conference Final, to start right away.
It would have started tomorrow.
And probably a game would have been on Monday,
Yes, it was Saturday, Monday in Dallas.
which means we're running, we're going. We have to, which is okay. It wasn't like, geez, look at our job. Woe is me. But it was kind of funny to be put in that, if Dallas extends this series, that next series won't start till mid next week or whatever
I had something I was going to go to, and now I completely forgot. That's bothering me.
Got something else on your mind.
Will and the Wolf.
No, that's gone.
Benny.
No.
Benny and the Jets.
I'm assuming you hear that a lot.
So often. Hockey teams growing up. Problem is I didn't have jets on my feet.
Were you a fast skater?
God, no.
Oh no.
No.
Oh no.
I was
This sucks.
fast up here, not fast down there.
Yeah.
Bad boots. Hey?
A lot of
bad
people would
boots.
say that about my football too.
Yeah.
Wasn't the
I saw you
fleetest of
kill
foot.
it, dude.
Wasn't the fleetest of foot, but I could sure hit you hard.
Oh my god, that one hit you showed me was you ended that guy's like football playing days.
Yeah, maybe his life.
You were Bone Crusher. Well, what was your nickname?
Nothing. I didn't have
I
it.
don't know. Thought maybe.
I didn't have a nickname.
I thought you did.
Glue guy.
Yeah.
I thought Jed Roberts. had
Jed called
something.
me Bone Crusher. He said that
where it
was the
was.
hardest hit he's seen in person.
He was at that game.
He was a coach on that team.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Was Tom Wilkinson your coach? back then?
No. I had Jerry Friesen.
Oh right, Jerry.
He was right
there for a
after.
while, right?
Yeah, he was good.
And
He
now
was a
he's
good man.
with the Huskies.
He's with the Huskies. Yeah, I make sure to see him every year, every time they're in town. Who they are in town week 1 against the Bears this year. We should do something for that. I mean, I guess it depends on the Elks, but
Actually, fun with Dave in Section T.
yeah.
Who sent me an email yesterday. Dave, I got to message you back if you're listening. I apologize. But he like fully introduced himself to me again. He's like, you may remember me. Dave, I remember you.
Yeah, of course.
Like it's hard to
He
forget.
kind of
He's a
he
great
helps
dude.
organize the tailgate.
He's like, I'm part of the
Bears
Cordy clan, and you know,
Yeah.
I've met you before, and he's like fully explaining. I'm like, Dave, you're a great guy. Like,
Well, he's a
fully
very
remember-
nice
He's
man.
there
Like-
was an Golden Bears football game. I was walking by through the tailgate, and all of a sudden I just heard someone talking about EST. I look back, and it's Dave. So I go walk up, and he was selling our station to someone. He's like, you should listen to Edmonton Sports Talk, and I just
should.
come up, and Dave's awesome, but he wants to apparently bring like the tailgate to us for like in May. He wants to tailgate outside for us. And bring
That
us
would
some
be
food
awesome.
during like the hangar.
I think we could do an EST tailgate and then have like a watch party here or something.
he wants to do it just during the day because we're so busy that
He's
we
a
can't all
teacher.
get to. I'll have to get back to him.
They have a
It's
million
great.
days off now. You see how many PD
He'll be
days?
teaching my daughter next year.
Who is?
Is he?
Yeah.
Davis?
Nice.
There's outdoor ed.
Outdoor ed.
That wasn't that the best class?
Yeah, it was.
In high school, it was the best.
Like, do you get that camping trip included at the end of it? Like, where
I
you go
don't.
on like an overnight,
They offered
like
it.
out to
I
Elk
did not
Island
go.
Park or something?
no, I loved grade 11, 12 gym because anyone that didn't want to take gym was done. They got their credits. They were never going to take gym ever again in their life. So the
Yeah,
only people
beat
that
it.
wanted to do
Yeah,
it
yeah.
were the people that
That's
wanted
when
to
it got
play
real.
sports.
Yeah.
So and then every day the teacher and then to be the girls side and the boys side, and sometimes you just play separately. Other times it'd be like, okay, we're playing volleyball today, and they set up 3 courts in AOB, and you'd get your team, mixed teams, and then you just slowly rotate or wherever it was, and you're just playing, and then it like semi-competitive,
Yes, of
like
course.
fully like somebody's not playing, like come on, like get into it a little
Yeah.
bit, and like everyone's into playing because that's what we're all here for, as opposed to like going and like, oh, you're on the field and like half the people are just like, I don't want to be here and barely doing it. And like they make a terrible play, and like come on, like
I
I want to win.
I'm seeing more now that it's like you don't have, or maybe you do have boys and girls in separate leagues or separate divisions, but there's usually the opportunity for co-ed.
There was it for the gym and stuff.
And if there's not, here's a little secret. Flag football.
Yeah.
I just went ahead and registered Rose on the boys' side.
Really?
Yeah. Like she's athletic. She can.
She's a competitor.
Yeah.
Like her mama.
yeah.
And
And
the
like
whole family.
Yeah.
every team has a girl. Like that we've seen. Like there's tons of girls playing like flag football on that team.
That's good.
Last night, my oldest daughter is in a 3-on-3 league, and they play at Harry Ainley every Thursday night. And they're it's a girls team, but they play boys teams, girls teams, whatever. They played this boys team who was like, let's just say this. They were warming up and they were like snickering. Like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, looking down.
Yeah. And I'll also say this, like boys, especially at younger age, like we're talking U15, they all think they're, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander or LeBron or name your person. They're all
Steph.
hucking threes and thinking that
It's the
they
Steph effect.
beat them 28-13. The
Damn
girls
right they
did.
did.
No way.
Well, they played team ball. They played team ball, and it was beautiful to see, and it was probably a good lesson for that other team because they had one guy in particular, like he was jacking them up from like just inside half court.
Why? You're 14 years old.
I don't know.
That's the thing. I know Paul Sir has a problem with the new basketball because now the staff effect is it's flashy to shoot threes. Michael Wilbon complains about this too on PT all the time, and it's the kids don't try to learn basketball; they're just trying to learn how to shoot threes. And I know like that's a thing that some people get concerned about when they see like a Zegras do the Michigan.
Right.
That all the young kids now are going to try to do the Michigan and not learn. And there has to be a mix. But there's the lesson that's learned. Don't snicker at it. Don't judge a team by their luck. And you got to play team ball, baby.
Oh yeah, it was beautiful, fantastic.
Those high school days were fun.
And then
I took gym in first semester, and then I had so few courses in my last semester of high school that I just went to gym every day.
Oh, that's lovely.
Augie and Iwanyk, they would just be like, Spanky, you joining us today? Yep, I certainly am.
VR. I took PE 30 twice in grade 12 and didn't get any credits. Augie and Dar were the best.
Yes, exactly.
I missed gym.
What was your favorite gym? Like, I remember like in high school, you'd be able to go outside and play like slow pitch.
Yep.
I thought that was awesome.
we never
That
got
was
slow
We
fun.
went
pitch.
and shot pool at the
Yes.
pub.
Really?
Yes.
What?
The high run.
That would have been sick.
Yes.
There was like
Really?
High Run Club.
The High Run
you
Club.
went through different like sports for
Oh, yeah, that
based
would've
on
been
the
right
season.
beside
So there'd be like a
AOB.
point where it's like, okay, we're gonna learn pool for the next 2 days, and you go for pool for 2 days, and then at times it was the indoor soccer center. You go there and play indoor soccer. And
climbing.
then rock
Oh,
climbing.
everybody
yes.
did broom
Yeah.
ball.
Yeah, broom ball.
Like, what's that all about?
I-
Why are we still
yeah.
teaching why are kids still learning broom ball?
Stop it.
Is that not an extinct sport?
It should be.
I
Stop
hated it.
Like, what are we
was
doing?
So dumb. It was so dumb.
I loved floor hockey.
Yep.
That was always
it's
fun.
awesome.
And then you'd have what is it, intramurals floor
Yeah.
hockey?
Yeah.
Those got
No,
intense.
very
Flag
intense.
football was always great.
Never had it.
Flag football was
It was
awesome.
or like it would
Yeah.
be more. It was either
touch.
flag football or you just play touch football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was always great. I did enjoy playing soccer, and I always enjoyed volleyball.
Yep.
Volleyball was fun.
We did badminton. I actually enjoyed
Badminton was incredible.
Yeah.
Yes.
You'd do squash. We'd do squash.
that.
I
We go
hated
squash,
squash.
racquetball.
I love
yeah.
squash.
I
still
don't
love
get
squash.
Love squash. Me and my friends play squash pretty much every Sunday.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Good for you.
At the Garrison.
Curling, you go curl for a couple days.
Yep. Yep.
We went to the driving range.
Remember-
okay, this week we're going to driving range.
Remember
Okay.
soccer ball? Like
Soccer baseball?
You'd
Yes.
roll the
Yeah.
boom,
Soccer base,
boom, boom,
kickball.
the big kickball.
Kickball.
Kickball. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Mr. Gerbic in the nasty chat. If I sponsor a U Sports segment, will you guys cover U Sports more? 100% Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Email him.
Boom.
That's the guy.
He'll
Hey, let's
take,
make it happen.
You want to do it? We'll gladly do more of that. And if you're saying you're going to pay, Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Send him an email right now. Jay will deal with it after the show, and we can get a bigger U Sports
We
segment.
could have this wrapped up today.
Absolutely.
Boom. You're very
Straight up.
efficient.
I have to be.
So, and we've talked.
That's all I got, Tom.
We do talk quite a bit. Right now, there is absolutely nothing to talk about with U Sports. I don't know if there's anything going on in the U
Outside of
Sports
guys
world.
leaving for NCAA.
Yeah,
Well, but
it's
I don't-
kind of
I think
like the
I
East
could-
West Bowl just wrapped up last weekend.
Yeah,
for
but there's
Bears.
no U Sports play
Oh,
happening.
It's a
'cause
it's
schools
a
are
pretty
out.
quiet time.
So there's not a lot to talk about right now. But if you'd like us to talk a little bit more than what we do, which is I still feel quite a bit.
Well, I would love nothing more to have a segment for U Sports and university colleges around here.
Talk about it.
I've always wanted to do.
Yeah.
By the way,
Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, Mr. Gerbic.
by the way,
Jay.
I also want to do this, and it's not going to take much, but it would be something I'd like to do as a weekly segment on the Reed Wilkins Show. This has always been something ever since this became like clear that this was the direction I was going to head. Things came into my mind, and I presented this to Reed the first day we met one-on-one, setting up our show. We'd met a couple times prior, but we were actually doing show prep. And I said, I want to do an athlete of the week segment. And I've just need a partner. Yes.
I'll just let you finish. Then I'll make one adjustment to that show.
Yeah,
to that segment for you.
and it would be simple. Send me your story. Send me why this athlete should be on. We'd have to get a partner that could, whether it's a $25 gift card to a restaurant or something that this kid could take away, because Elite Sportswear used to do that. And I got the Elite Sportswear Athlete of the Week from Global, or I forget if it was, I think it was Global, from Kevin Carius. And he came and presented me with I still have the Elite Athlete of the Week watch.
That's cool.
So something like that is such a big deal for a young athlete that it just, and it's cool for you guys to hear about local stuff that's going on and to hear about, there's apparently a girl in high school right now that's actively being recruited in Edmonton that's actively being recruited by Div 1 schools in the NCAA for basketball.
Love that.
Right? You're
She should be featured.
well, she should be. And there's so many athletes. I mean, we would not be short of people to choose from.
I would start with a athlete of the month. And if then you get a lot of entries, then maybe after time you could shrink it to an athlete of the
That's fair. Sure.
week. You could do 12 athletes a year.
Yeah, I think that would be I would be quite upset if we couldn't do one a week because there's such a sports
You
community.
got to build
in
it
Edmonton.
up though.
Yeah,
That's where I would say you
baby
start
steps.
with there. Yeah.
Okay, baby
Don't
steps.
just dive right into the
Sure.
deep end before swimming.
Like a place like I know, like in Sherwood Park, place like Past the Pantry. If you know somebody
I
from
know
the
Past the Pantry.
yeah, like that would be a great. Hey, here's a $25 GC to Past the Pantry
follow
for
each other on IG and
the
talk all the time.
EST Athlete of the Week. You know, like somewhere like that. I've tried to get in touch with Past the Pantry, but their hours are always when I'm like I can't go there because they don't open till I'm already here. So if somebody knows somebody at Past the Pantry,
I do.
Okay, then let who the guy?
I talk with them on Instagram every now and then.
Okay, well let's.
I got to say, sorry, but Max Bezzosu also brought up handball. It was awesome. I loved
Handball
playing
was
handball.
fun.
Handball.
Yeah.
My daughter team, their Drawson Bison, just won the provincial championship last year.
Eva G, when she grew up as a little girl in Poland, played handball.
Now, are you talking this handball?
Yeah.
Or like handball where you use your
No,
hand
you're
as a
no,
racket?
like two
actual
steps.
European
you're allowed,
handball.
Yeah,
Olympic
you're allowed two
handball.
steps. You have
Yeah.
to
You're
pass
actually allowed
it.
3.
Is it 3?
Yeah.
And then there's the big arc that you're not allowed in, but you can
Yeah,
jump
it's the 9
into,
meter line.
But you have to. Pardon?
9 meter line.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Is Fergie here?
Oh, Fergie. Hey, how are
shocker.
you?
There's a one finger salute.
How would I ever have guessed? Look
Get
who
out
it
of
is.
here.
Oh, that breath of fresh air is nice. You can leave it open a bit. Leave it open a bit.
Fergie.
Leave it open a bit.
Fergie. You have a better one.
Oh,
Yeah, you have better.
round of clicks for Fergie.
Fergie and one finger salute.
This is the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage. Canada's storage experts, more than 2 decades helping
You know,
Canadians through
my
life
buddy.
transitions.
Sorry,
Okay,
I totally
Jasmine.
interrupted you. Do you want to read
Go,
that again?
Finish that. You read this
Yeah.
now.
The EST Hangout is presented by Sentinel Storage, Canada's storage experts. More than 2 decades of helping Canadians through life's transitions. Canadian storage provider, sentinel.ca.
Buy Canadian, support Canadian.
Very good.
Communal locations, find them at sentinel.ca. Thank you.
My buddy Sickler, who helps at the EST golf tournament every year.
Yeah, I got to figure out what I'm going to have him do.
He's a coach on Team Canada's handball team.
Is he really?
Yeah. We should have
We
him
had
in.
someone in. Did we have not handball? I thought no, we didn't do handball then, because we've had quite a few cool guests here to talk about.
Matt Hyman, who's always in the chat. He's a big handball guy.
We've had Brock to talk disc golf. I think it was. We've talked to him. Handball would be a fun one to talk about.
Yeah.
Let's get
I
him
didn't
in.
know that. Absolutely.
Eva G, who also will volunteer at the golf tournament and get drunk again. When she was a little girl in Poland, played handball, like organized handball, and she's like, "Tommy, when I was young, I played handball, and it's a great sport. It's like basketball and hockey." And I was like, "That doesn't sound like a real sport." And then we played it in high school. It was fun.
Chuckles Way YEG says, love the youth sports idea, but please don't ignore ACAC, CCAA athletes. That's a fair point.
I will say that there was a dream of mine when we started Edmonton Sports Talk that I wanted to do, but we've just been so busy I can't execute it. I did want to create a podcast only thing of like Edmonton sports, everything but the Oilers. Like no
You should
mention
call it
of the
everything but
Oilers.
the-
Yeah, like no mention of the Oilers. Like I would do a video component even like how many times Oilers gets brought up. Like it's like a swear jar type thing. Like if you say Oilers, no. Because there's so many great sports going on around town.
Yes.
That it would be like an hour show of just like once a week. Here's what's going on. Here's what's happening with Natives, Concordia Thunder, McEwen, U of A, Riverhawks, Stingers. Okay, here's the big stuff happening in the AJ or the BCHL. It's weird saying that.
It is weird.
But like those type of things, and have a show that, and even a little bit on the Elks because they could always use a little bit more. But like what Oil Kings in there, and it'd be the show that is everything but the Edmonton Oilers because you get Oilers coverage everywhere in this city, and rightfully so. They deserve it. But just that one show that if you want to be up to date on everything's going like, hey, this week we'll talk to Connor Hood from the Bears. He'll explain what's going on there. The next week, somebody from Nate, Jordan Ritchie to talk about. And I've always wanted to launch that. We're busy. One day,
Sector
I'll get
text
there.
in.
One day.
Our junior men's national team is going to the World Championships in June. We have a stud player from our Drawson currently playing in Denmark. We should get him on.
Yes,
That'd be cool.
100%.
Let's do it.
a lot of
Look
fun
it up,
stuff.
brah. TBD, brah.
We got Benjamin.
Oh,
Yeah,
breaking
he's got
news,
something
Ben?
to say. He's got something
My
to say.
group chat's popping off right now.
Air guitar stuff.
A Rashog bomb. Knobloch says Ekholm won't be back for game 1 or 2. He's optimistic he'll be back in the 3rd round. He's listed as day-to-day is what my friend
How is that a shock bomb when last week I said the exact same thing?
Did you? Derek Van Diest.
Come on, Ben.
Matthias Ekholm could be available for the Oilers in the conference final, according to Chris Knobloch.
Yeah.
Welcome to last week. Jesus.
Day-to-day not available for games 1 and 2, says Gene Principe. I'll just say, Knobloch said Pickard won't be available early in the series. Hope for him sometime mid-series. Was there a tweet from?
Retweet my own.
Well, I'm just gonna go. I just want to
Lean into it, Tom.
There's another
my
tweet
God.
I need to
Smack this
grab.
around,
No,
you
hold
know?
up a second. There was a different tweet I need to get to than what's being said right now.
Oh, the World Championships of Handball are in Poland.
Of course they are.
You go where everyone is.
Do you know how to say handball in Polish?
I got another tweet here. This is from May 12th, 2025 at 11:56 a.m. from @Tom Gazzola.
Thank you.
Some good news on the Matthias Ekholm front
yeah.
is he's begun skating again. However, I'm told he is still weeks away at best. So
Is that day-to-day, Tom?
day to day in the National Hockey League in the playoffs
They're not saying
is not day to day in the NHL. Day to day in the playoffs is he's not ready right away.
Yeah.
He's still got time.
Hey, I should use this platform to because Jay's play of the day hit yesterday. That was a nice one.
Wow, surprising! I'm
That was
surprised by the Nuggets.
Yes, good
That was
job.
plus 230 here too. That was fun to watch. I want to get in on this Knicks Celtics game, and I think there's a way to do it, but we just got to talk about it.
The Knicks need this. If the Knicks don't win this, they're done. They're not winning a game 7 in Boston, even without Tatum. So you're trying to figure out what your play is?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go with Play Alberta's over-under. You can start there. And this is the Play Alberta over-under segment. We can go with that one. There's a few.
Yeah, that's natural.
Well, there's a few different options in that one I will go to. I need to open up my app. This segment brought to you by Play Alberta. Deposit 20 or more for a free $100 bet on sports using 100 Sports, or you can deposit 20 or more to get a $100 casino bet using 100 Casino. You could also use YEG50 to receive a $50 bet when you make a $5 minimum deposit. So with Jay's Player of the Day, deposit $5, then use promo code YEG50, and you could drop a free $50 bet on Jay's Play of the Day, which will come later today. Experience all the excitement of the casino in the palm of your hand. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit 20 using the EST exclusive promo code 100 Casino, as I said, for a $100 casino bet. If we're going to go basketball, okay, so we want to get to this game tonight. The over-under is set at 211 points, but let's go to players.
See, I've got one I put together here right now.
You're doing a full parlay.
I did a same game parlay. New York Knicks win over 209.5, and Karl Anthony Towns over 20.5 points and assists.
Well, I'm just looking at
That's plus 237.
How has Brunson done this series?
Good. Very good.
Well, I just want to see what his points have been. I need to find his basketball reference, not hockey reference. That would be stupid because he won't have one. Game logs for Brunson this series, points-wise, he's put up 29, 17, 27, 39, 22. So he's only had one game in the 30s, but
Max
he's been 27,
27,
39 were his big ones. Jalen Brunson, if I put it today at over under 28.5, what do you think he's going to do in a chance to close it out at home?
How much is it?
You could do Brunson over 28.5 or 29.5 in the same game parlay. But if I was setting it right now, Jalen Brunson having over 28.5 points in this game. He's had 29, 17, 27, 29, 39, and 22 in this series. What would you take?
Over.
I think so too.
What's
I
the
think
stat?
he's going off and he's going to win this. They're going to win this.
What's the
So
stat
do you
with
want to
the
just do
Knicks?
that?
What's the question?
What's the stat with the Knicks of like closing out series?
They have not been able to close out a series at home since 1999, since
Yeah.
Josh Clausen. The flip side to that is I don't know how many series they've had the chance to close out at
But
home.
see,
in
I'd
that
also take the over then, over 209.5, because I think this will go over if Jalen Brunson's going over.
That's
right?
fair. You're
So you
building
say-
a parlay there.
I
You're not
am.
doing like just a play for that. I'm
So
doing
you're
for
going
the,
Jalen Brunson over 28.5?
If they're winning this, I think he's going off.
Okay, that would be a 3-leg parlay plus 245. I don't mind it.
So over Brunson, over game.
Over total 209.5. Over Brunson 28.5. New York Knicks money line.
And then with Play Alberta, you might get a little boost on that.
Oh, they like to do that.
Give you a little
They
boost.
like to do it.
And there you go.
Yes, let's do it. I think we should do it.
Well,
I'm gonna
I don't.
send it to Dusty. It's locked in.
I like it. I like it.
Because it's also like, I do like to add some odds to it. Like, because it is nice if you put a buck on it. You know, like just to make it interesting if you want to have fun on. I've had so many people text me recently, like close friends, like, hey, you got to talk to me, like, show me a bit more about this. Like what? And I heard it today on the morning show. Like, I think Dusty or whoever could put together something like a 5-minute tutorial, just like with the screen of Alberta and showing you, this is what this means. This is what this means. This is a dog. This is a, you know, like just simple betting or gambling or 101. Betting, sports betting 101, you could call it.
Hey, maybe that should be part of the lock shop every day.
Yeah, it
One
could
new
be.
thing.
That's a
One
good
new
idea.
thing.
One new thing.
One new part.
Like when we're saying parlay, what's a parlay?
Mr. Gerbick's back in the nasty chat, and I'm calling him out once again. Mr. Gerbick, I expect your email also still to be Jay, because he calls us out a lot for not talking about other sports, and now he's saying he wants to put his money to do it. I expect that your money is where your mouth is now. But he says, sorry, Tom, your tweet said nothing new aside from Ekholm skating. Well, if you're listening to Edmonton Sports Talk, beyond just the tweet that Tommy did say, he did come on here on this station, whether it be on the Oilers stream, whether it be on the Oilers stream pre- and post-game shows, whether it be on the Hangout, and he did come out and say that Ekholm, if possible, potentially, but not a guarantee at the end of the conference finals.
Yeah.
Maybe for the Stanley Cup finals. So everything that you're getting from Chris Knobloch today saying day to day, maybe later in the conference finals, he might be available, is exactly what Tommy also said on the station last week.
Eat it, Mr. Gerbick.
So don't just look at the tweet, also listen to what is said here.
Yeah.
And if all you want to do is call out Edmonton Sports Talk for everything we're doing, I appreciate you listening for one. But again, I expect that when we're done in the Hangout, Jay will go to his email and he will see your email in with you wanting to sponsor that segment.
So what's he calling me out for? What
That your tweet did not specifically say, it just said he's skating.
and is weeks away at best.
Yes, but you didn't say that he would be available potentially for the conference final later in the series.
In your
So
tweet.
what?
But you said
did
that
it-
on the
Yeah.
station.
You said it on the oil stream.
Jeez. Sorry, Mr. Gerbick, for not giving you what you want all the time to the nth degree.
There you go.
I expect your email in Jay's inbox by the time this show's over.
Yes, I
If you
expect
wanna
you to
be
be in
like
my
that.
box.
Because he's
If
come
you
at,
will.
he's came at you during the Reed Wilkins show.
Yeah.
He's had those things, and now he made that comment, so I expect it.
Well, I've had a few people reach out and be like, I wish you guys would cover more Riverhawks, more Stingers, more Elks. And I replied to one person in particular. I said, okay, we had Jordan Baker, the head coach of the Stingers, on our show the last Friday before their season opener. We are the official broadcast partner for the Stingers and the Riverhawks.
Tonight, 6:30, Edmonton Stingers action live on our audio streams at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, tune in, iHeartRadio, Apple Music.
On Edmonton Sports
6:30,
Talk.
out in Winnipeg.
That day, Hernan and Joaquin had an Elks guest on. They had Chris Morris on today. We're trying to get an Elks guest on our show today. We're at Fan Day tomorrow. We're the only place doing this. We're the only place in town that's giving this much love to all of these sports.
Beyond the official rights holders of the Edmonton Elks, which is 880 Ched, we have the only Elks pre- and post-game show in the market then.
Yeah, and I
Oilers, pre- and post-game, there's a bunch.
I'm partial to ours because it is the best.
Well, the two best pre- and post-game guys are on the station, just straight up. But there's no, like, the rights holders, they have to do pre- and post. There's no one else jumping in and doing Elks. We are.
Yeah.
Jay and I could spend our summers doing other things.
You guys have a great pre-
I would love
show.
So,
Mr. Gerbick, do you all want to be CC'd?
Yep.
no, I could glad you could CC
after
Tommy.
that.
I'll go to Jay and I'll just ask if he did it. So,
Any update on Pickard being available for game one of the conference final?
Won't be available.
yeah.
Why? Why are we asking this question though?
Yeah.
Curiosity.
I think the question comes up, like, I think...
I'm not saying it's a bad question. Don't
No,
construe that.
I mean, like,
I'm just-
everyone knows Skinner starts, but what if he goes down with an injury in a game? What if, what if he has a bad game and you need to pull? You'd have more confidence right now, by far, going to Pickard as opposed to Rodrigue. So you want all your players available. What if Skinner happens to, get knocked forward, have a poor start to the series? Is Pickard ready to take over? All of those questions, the people want the answer to that, and that's why you want to see where Pickard's health is at. You don't want a situation where, again, worst case scenario, something happens to Skinner in any way, shape, or form, whether it be injury or performance, and you don't have Pickard to go to, you're going to Rodrigue. That's why it's a question.
Also, Colin Delia is now up and running. He's been here for a few days, so there's a veteran guy. If you're... Again, knock on wood or drywall in this case with Matt.
Again, studs.
Yes, there's a stud back
That's why I go across.
Yeah.
There's a stud somewhere, I believe.
Yeah, so that's why they brought Delia in, who was already in off-season mode, but there's a couple of reinforcements there. Just in case. Delia's been around the league, played in the league a bunch, so...
Because you could also make that argument, well, who cares about Matthias Ekholm in that sense? His health. Because of how well that D's playing.
Yeah.
We asked a question last night on the Reed Wilkins show.
What question?
This is a sign of just how well oiled this Oilers machine is right now. If you had to say, I think we could take this forward out and put somebody else in and inject them into this lineup. All year, you've had 3 or 4 people that you could put on that list, right? Throughout the regular season. After these right now, the guys are 8-1 in their last 9.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They're playing very well. But who would you say? Would you be able to look at somebody and say, yeah, we could probably upgrade here?
I remember saying, I don't know if you could change that forward group, and then I was wrong about Arvidsson to Kapanen. Because Kapanen came in and played great. But, you could say Stetcher on the back end, but...
But then who would you upgrade them with?
Well, that one is the natural.
The Ekholm, obviously.
The Kapanen is the one that I don't know if he could provide for an entire series.
Yeah.
And who knows? That may switch back.
And you'd have Arvidsson,
if it's a different
that
style
you
of
could throw
play.
that in.
They needed to inject speed and size into that lineup. And here's the thing. Reed's been saying this all year. This even stems back to last year in the playoffs where he, sat Cody Ceci. He sat, who was it?
What,
Vogel?
Vogel?
Yeah.
Vogel, McLeod for a little bit. Perry even
during
for a
the
little
playoffs. He's pretty damn good with these decisions
last year in the playoffs.
With these decisions that he makes.
Well, it's fun.
Personnel.
Last year, everything Chris Knobloch did basically was the right move.
Yeah.
This year, during the regular season, there was a lot of there was more questionable ones or things that didn't work out for Chris Knobloch. And there was more is he getting it right this year? And then the playoffs have come and everything he's done has been correct again.
Yeah. Yeah. I was pretty critical of Knobloch all year. I felt like I didn't like some of the moves he made.
Why?
Because I just thought
things weren't working.
Yeah, things weren't working. I also think he's way too hard on young guys. I don't think he gives them the right opportunity. Last year I was banging the Dylan Holloway drum. He needs to play more. And then playoffs, finally he gets that look and it's oh, they have a player here.
I was watching that.
No, you weren't. What was it?
Steel Lumberjack
Yeah,
competition.
it was. Did you see who's the sponsor in the bottom corner?
Steel.
No.
Who?
See, you weren't even paying attention.
I don't.
There's BPs on
I
there.
wanted Steel.
There's BPs.
Just get Steel.
Our partnership
Steel.
was there. I see our partners.
I don't. I make them.
Okay, 10:30. Did you want to finish that point? Or
I was just saying, I felt like Matt Savoy got screwed out of minutes this year.
He'll be on the team next year.
Thank you.
Okay, this text comes in. It's along these same lines that we're talking about. It says, boys, not sure if I missed this earlier. In this next series, other than injury, what are the Jeff Skinner playing chances? Just asking. I will add to this. What's the infatuation with Jeff Skinner?
The past Jeff Skinner that could score goals.
Yep.
That's the
He
infatuation.
doesn't do it on this team very often.
Yeah.
No, he was all right in January and beyond, but
No, it's the.
I think.
What
it's
was
'cause-
Jeff Skinner's best season?
what 8-1 you said in the last 9?
Yeah.
Oh, let's get him in there.
Oh, you know what? I don't know that there's an appetite to get him in here now. And
But I'm not knocking that texter.
think-
I'm just saying there's a lot of people being like, what about Jeff Skinner?
I
He
think
was a
that's kind
37
of-
goal scorer and best in his career. He's a 30 goal scorer a few times in his career. I was a 40 goal scorer, sorry, in Buffalo. The
I think that's
is,
fallen by the
he's
wayside.
a 40 goal scorer, and that's what they were thinking. He still is.
we might see him depending on how this next series goes.
I've said this all year that there's a likability to Jeff Skinner as a person and as somebody who has never had the chance to compete in the playoffs.
He has. He's got.
There's
a
an
point
underdog
-2.
story there, I would say.
Benny.
Right? And you hear him on interviews, you see him, like he's always smiling.
He's a good guy.
You know, there is something, it's almost like a cuteness, like you want to pinch his cheeks kind of thing and say, go get him, Skinner.
Okay.
I honestly think that plays into it. And the facts of the matter are that this is a proven scorer. He wasn't able to get it done. And this team is just, right now, he would be an absolute liability out there. With his, he's not on the PK. He's not a great two-way player.
I got to throw a shout out to Jeff Skinner and Corey Perry too. It's their birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday.
Perry's 40, Skinner's now 33. So
Very good.
Right, but like you can inject that player who's just one-dimensional into this lineup right now. You can't.
Which guy would you take out? That's the other thing too. Is like this forward unit has been so effective in the first 2 rounds. What motivation do you have to put him in? And then B, who are you taking out?
The only guy, and this is laughable, but it's the truth. The only guy you could even look at, in my opinion, that you would take out of the lineup because he hasn't been performing to his level is the Nuge.
And you're not taking out the Nuge.
And you're
ever.
not taking him out.
Yeah.
But that's the only guy you can look through those 12 players and say, well, he's contributing. He's contributing. Nuge is the only one that is left a little bit to be desired.
But he's also PP1 and PK1. It's like
that's the thing. It's the things that don't show up on the score sheet.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right?
He did get a couple of points in that series.
what did I hear about the stat yesterday of the Oilers on the power play on the road?
Oh,
It's
it's
like
0 and 12.
Yeah. That's incredible to
They have not scored on the road in the PP this playoffs.
It's playoffs, okay.
They scored once in the last series. All together.
Yeah.
Not on the road. All together.
That tells me 2 good things on that.
Oh, that's
One-
beautiful.
Well, one is they're playing well 5-on-5. That's how they're winning hockey games. It's
Yes.
just the reverse of past playoffs. It was their power plays, and then they couldn't get power plays, and they couldn't play 5-on-5. And at some point, you would have to think that power play is going to get going, at least in a series or something. And if that gets going on top of their 5-on-5 play.
And don't you dare question their defensive ability.
Yo, you'll get a stinky eye from one of them.
But as an Oilers fan, you should be licking your chops saying, this team has not scored a power play goal on the road this playoffs.
Right.
And they are 8-1. They just dismantled the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Dismantled them.
That wasn't even a series.
5-on-5. This team is known for a deadly, effective power play. When you have 2 of the top 4 players in the world on the same power play. So they're getting this done with 0 efficiency on the power play. That's going to come together at some point. It's going to click at some point. It will. And then, now what?
Golden Knights did a good job just with their sticks in the middle.
Very effective.
Well, and honestly, sorry, Tom, you got a
go
point
ahead,
to
go
make.
ahead.
I don't want you to forget it.
No, I won't. It's right in front of
Are
me.
you guys a little bit like, I know the shoot the puck, that's, I guess that's a simple take, but can Evan Bouchard not just fire something?
There's a few times this
even
playoffs
if it's
that
even if it's purposely wide into traffic.
there'd be times we're sitting with Reed and you just shoot, just fire it. Just
Like
don't-
that goal that early in the game in Las Vegas on the he mishandled a puck going back towards the blue line, and it caused him to gather it and put it on net. They almost scored because those floaters, as you all know especially in the playoffs, those are playoff goals. Get it somewhere that way.
Yep.
Instead of just pass.
That could be done on Leon too. Leon too many
I get
times this
it.
past series didn't shoot. He passed, and I could say that there was people that Oiler brass sits behind me at those games, and I know some of them were wanting Leon to shoot a little bit more. They were not
great
happy
shot.
sometimes when he didn't shoot.
Yeah.
No, whatever you needed to get to.
Jay brings up hey, the Nuge, you want more from him. Guys, do you know how many points Nugent Hopkins has this postseason on?
VR
looking at-
and Big U have it in the nasty chat.
9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's fourth behind McDavid, Draisaitl, and Bouchard.
3 goals plus 3.
I would say that he is
Sneaky.
contributing. But Jay,
It's a
you're
quiet
right,
contributing.
There are people who have been what's he done? A lot.
But it's
Benny
not that
makes
he's
a
not
good point.
contributing. That's
PP1,
not what I
PK1.
said. like contributing as much as he could? Is Nuge doing as much as you'd think he would? I think it's been a pretty.
Yes.
I think it's been a pretty.
Well, I think what Jay's saying is Nuge has top
potential,
and Nuge isn't hitting it.
Well,
but I think you could say that about Leon.
Yeah.
And he's top
Leon's-
5 in
yeah.
playoff scoring. Like
100%.
I guess
But,
we're
like, and he's
spoiled
not-
with riches
yes,
here,
we
are.
right?
Yeah, that's a
and
great-
and
you're-
then
You're
just
not getting the
looking to what they're-
production. Like
yeah.
there's times in those games you'd be like, Leon could have more points, and he's not getting it done, but he's top 5 in scoring.
yeah.
It was the original question was who would you take out of the lineup because they're not performing to their potential. That's what it was, and like I guess great. It's been a quiet 9 points, you could say, for Nuge, but it was a hypothetical to begin with.
No, I know,
Of
and I'm not
looking at
knocking
the
you, but I'm
depth,
just saying-
it's essentially supporting the depth of this lineup and how well they're playing together.
There have been people that have been like, well,
Sorry if I offended any Nuge lovers.
This
It
city's full
wasn't
of
my
them.
intent.
The official drink of the EST Hangout, by the way, is the Finnish long drink, legend in 1952, a drink unlike any other. Sparkling refreshment, real liquor, longdrink.com/Canada. You can enter your postal code and find a liquor store and establishment nearest you with the long drink, which would probably just a great one to have over a May long weekend. 17 today, 17 tomorrow, 20 on Sunday, 19 on Monday. What do we got at Fan Day tomorrow? 10 o'clock, it's 10 degrees, so hopefully it warms up a little bit more. They get hit to the field at 11.
Yeah, Big Uke makes a good point. The big thing, Jay, is that the power play isn't scoring, and Nuge is a big part of that. Right? Mm-hmm. So you see him out there as part of this group that's struggling. That will come. And when that starts,
Oilers power play in playoffs going into game 5, I think was 5th or 6th. But you're right, inefficient on the road.
Like I noticed that like they're like obviously like their dream setup for that power play is McDavid on that one wall, Draisaitl on the far wall, Nuge bumper, and I felt like they couldn't get that going as much. I felt like
It's taken away.
Yeah. And I it just like I can't remember a time in that series where Draisaitl had that one timer, like that cross ice one timer. Teams are looking at it, right? But
who was saying it? It was on EST Airways. It might have even been on our show. I can't remember. I'm not remembering it properly, but somebody was saying that other teams or whoever comes out of this Dallas Jets series should grab that film of what the Vegas Golden Knights did to the Oilers power play and duplicate it, or try as best as you can too.
Yes. It's cat and mouse game, so Edmonton's going to have to throw some new wrinkles in to throw at either the Jets or Stars. Can I just bring this up really quickly? The second jury has been dismissed in the Hockey Canada sex assault trial. The case will be heard by the judge alone now.
So what I read quickly today was apparently one of the jurors believes that one of the counsels, because the defense lawyers, they released a statement almost immediately, saying that one of the jurors felt that the counsels were being dismissive of the juror. And they came out like no lawyer would ever be dismissive of a juror because you want the juror to be on your side. But there was something with the jury that they didn't like. So now it's going all the way to it'll be just the judge. Jasmine, I know I saw in the Nasty Chat a little bit earlier, and she has an expertise on this stuff to a degree. She went, that's great for defense lawyers. So I'm assuming that, just in those type of cases, if it's just the judge, it's a better chance with the defense. But yeah, that came out this morning. So that's the second time this.
Macramella also chimed in on it too. You can hear Macramella with the boys on the morning once a week. The jury in the World Juniors case can be dismissed for any number of reasons, including juror impartiality and legal error. None of the questions asked suggest legal errors, although I'm relying on what's being reported, so it may fall to jury bias / impartiality, but we will see. That's from Macramella 20 minutes ago.
We have the start of Tecmo Super Bowl here at the office. It began yesterday, regular season, and we are live on Twitch with it now too. We've got a game going on right now. Dusty and the Hampton Goats are taking on Trev, who are the Rocky Mountain Rainbows, something like that. And it is 14-7 for the Giants over the Lions.
Oh, you're watching it.
Yeah, so I threw it on there. I heard them playing, so I threw it on. I'm surprised Trev got a touchdown against Dusty. He's one of the noobs in this league, along with Jay and along with Zach. And you're going up against the best, and this is third quarter, so we'll see how... this would be a huge upset if Trev can pull something off. I'm not liking his chances, but he got a point. He got a touchdown. I'm proud of Trev right now. You played Trev yesterday.
Defensive struggle.
14-0 win, Washington, though. I got my first game in. Yukon Jack was here. Dominating performance by the Green Bay Packers over the KC Chiefs. A nice 35-7 win. The only reason Duke got a touchdown was my guy fumbled. There's not much he could do on a punt, and he returned it to the house. But the grind on their three-peat quest, where we sent a statement to the start, and Jay hates me as in my Tecmo mode.
Hates. I don't like to use the
You
word
really
hate.
dislike my persona around Tecmo.
I think you're arrogant.
I am. I'm not. It's not. You don't think it. I am.
I feel you're arrogant. I feel you're being a bit of a dick.
I think you could take away a bit. I'm a dick.
I think I can too.
I'm a dick in it. 100%.
So you're okay. Well, I mean, then there's just no. I guess that's just the way it is.
No, as Yuke was leaving yesterday, I was saying crap to him.
Oh man, I just thought of something about. Never mind. I'll talk to you after, but it could make for some good times.
Like I had the greatest season in Tecmo history.
See,
I'm the 2-time defending champ.
I know, but champs don't talk about it like that. Champs act like they've been there before.
I don't care.
Yeah, clearly.
Bring it.
I know,
get that
that's
title
what the
from
problem
me.
is.
Come
You're
here.
like,
well, because come.
I can't wait till somebody whoops your ass in this game.
Learn how to
look
do
at
it.
Trev.
Oh, he's at the one. He's at the one. I'm sorry. Just come earn it. I'm trying to hey, I'm trying to also get you guys to be more interested because come shut me up. Don't get someone else to shut me up. Do it yourself.
I will. Jerk.
Yeah, that's right.
Just turn into a different person.
These are my stomping grounds here.
You're generally a nice person.
Yeah, but here I'm the best, and you guys need to know I'm the best.
So Trev just scored a touchdown?
Yeah, if he hits this extra
What's the
point,
name
we
of the
got a
Twitch
tie.
channel?
Just go to Twitch and
Yeg
search Yeg Sports Talk.
Yep.
Benny was showing me how to use it yesterday, which was great.
Yeah.
It's my stomping grounds.
He knows what he's doing.
How many followers do you have on there? Or subscribe? Is it called subscribers?
It's followers. Subscribers is people who pay $7 a month to get these emojis and emotes in your chat,
and you get tips too, right?
Yeah, donations.
Do you make any money off of that?
Oh yeah, it was in my first semester of school as my income.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was like my job. I have 5,000.
Jeez.
I don't know, something like that.
Round of clicks for that.
Round
Oh,
of
the
clicks.
answer
Thank
to
you.
the question, by the way, which I'll get a hold of someone after, was Benny was a Chell, top 5 player in the world.
What's that? Chell.
NHL.
NHL.
Like what year?
I was competitive from NHL 20 to 24.
What's that mean?
He represented Canada. He was paid.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Okay, we need more context here. How do you do that? What
yeah.
playing state device is this on?
Well, PlayStation and Xbox. I had both consoles. But I was mainly an Xbox guy, and then I was PlayStation for 2 years, and then I don't know, I did flip flop. But it's those two combined: PS5 and the Xbox new gen.
And so when you play these games now, you're not playing against you and your friend sitting against each other. You're playing against somebody online.
Yeah. Well, once you get to a certain point in the tournament, they would have it in person. So it was all online until you made it to a certain stage, and then you got flown out and played in person.
And then how do you get to represent Canada?
So there's the NHL ran this tournament called the Gaming World Championships every year, and so they originally had it broken up. They had originally had it broken up into regions, so Canada, U.S., and Europe. But then they changed it to NHL team correlated, and I was the Oilers representative for multiple years.
No way.
Yeah.
So did you have to play as the Oilers?
No, so you play with your team. It's called Hockey Ultimate Team, and so it's a fantasy team basically.
Yeah.
So I used that, and then eventually, once you got to a certain stage, there was a draft, and you just drafted players. So I made it to that stage twice, and so I drafted my team. But yeah, so you use that, but I wore the Oilers jerseys and stuff because I was the representative, and so yeah, and then I guess Canada, I represented Canada technically because whatever, at a certain stage, there's only 2 Canadians left or whatever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm laughing at this Tecmo game because Dusty's hat is off. His hair is just messy because he's nervous. It was 14-14. He got a fumble. He threw a completion, fumbled. Travis drove him down the field and has a 21-14 lead. in this game. This is a potential of a major upset coming in Tecmo Super Bowl here early.
If you didn't know this, Trev is also quite good at video games. I think he got into crack the top 100 of EA Sports NHL series. Go ahead. Say what you need to. No feelings.
Top 100 in a very specific mode that doesn't have the competitive players in it, is what I'll say.
Calling
So
him
you're
out.
better than
calling him out.
You're just calling him
Trev
out.
would say that and knew that
Yeah.
too.
It's funny how I was introduced to well, not introduced, but like how my name was first ever brought up here was my dad texting in because Trev mentioned that he was top 50 in the world. My dad texted me. He goes like, "Do you know a guy named his Party Boy was his gamer tag?" I was like, "Never heard of him." Because I've heard the competitive names. He was like, "Party Boy." I'm like, "Never heard of him." He goes, "Oh, well, he's claiming he's top 50 in the world." I'm like, what? Like I have never heard of that. He goes, "Oh." Like he texted into Dusty's show and said that I was top 5 in the world. So that's how it all got
Oh wow.
And then so that's how I got actually in touch with you guys. And then I ended up meeting Trev and stuff. But yeah, he was top 50 in the versus leaderboard on PS4.
Okay. So it was a very
1/4 of the console on a mode that I would say the top 1,000 people don't play on.
okay. So and you were just top 5 straight up.
Yeah, all consoles.
So a bit different, but that's still pretty impressive what Trev did.
Yeah, very.
Greasy Gordy, he is the champ, so everything he does is the actions of a champion. Speaking of me, as you're saying, what do champs do? So I am a champ, so I am acting as a champ. Dash, real leaders know how to motivate people to be better. Sounds like Maddie's just being a true leader glue guy. Seems it's working. You're trying to be better. So there you go. I hope they know the overtime rules of this, because I don't think they do.
Thank God you only have 4 minutes left on the show to remind them.
Well, we did things because in this game, if you play overtime, but it ends in a tie, and we don't do ties. So you have to restart the game actually fresh.
Oh.
And then whoever wins like the coin toss in this, we have to adjust it properly. So there is a way to do it so that we have a full game to see who gets the first score. It's very intense. But
Just first score wins. You don't have a chance at rebuttal.
no, this is Tecmo. This is 93 rules we're playing.
Okay. Yeah. Fair.
First score wins. Yeah. So it's intense here, and
Dusty's marching.
Dustin still got a score.
Yeah.
well, he does, but like I'm not worried that Dusty's going to score here.
I'm way too into this.
Lars YTT called out by rookie EST scandal. Yeah, maybe. You got called down a little bit there.
We didn't mean to play for a while. We haven't gotten to it yet, but
Big plans for the long weekend for anyone? There it is. We got a tie football.
I'm
Here.
going to golf my first round. This
Yeah?
Nice.
hey,
I should hit a range.
Where are you going?
TBD, bruh.
Okay.
TBD.
heading to a friend's place. Their lake on Sunday.
Ooh.
So I'll be doing the golf show, then heading straight out to.
Little lake party.
Yep. They I have 2 really good friends that have like very nice places.
Where? What lake?
One's I think Skeleton,
Oh, nice.
and then Island Lake is I think I don't know. It's something I forget the name every time, but yeah, they're fun. Good place. To
Skeleton
relax.
Lake's up. I think that's up by Lac La Biche, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's nice.
You got PJ Championship this weekend.
Yeah.
You got F1 this
Hey,
weekend.
how's McElroy looking? Is he going to miss the cut?
I'm going to have to look. Let me pull it up right. Oh, when did he tee off today? That also would be a question here. Tomorrow on the station, by the way, 10 o'clock again, Hello Hockey. Tommy Belsey live at the Summit at Silent Ice. Noon, myself and Jay, when he gets over from his flag football game that his daughter is in and he's coaching, we'll be at Emerald Hills in Sherwood Park for the Elks Fan Day. We'll be on live from noon to 2, and then it is a golf show on Sunday morning at 8 a.m. with Murray, Curtis, and Benny will be in. As for Rory, can I find him on here? Where is Rory?
Wasn't he like T62 at one point yesterday?
Well, we do have a bet on him missing the cut. He's +3. Cut right now is projected at +1, but he hasn't teed off today. So we'll have to see how well he plays today.
Reed picked him to miss the cut in our. We do a little. Maddie and Reed and I do a few wagers.
Yep.
On golf. So Reed picked him to miss the cut. That would be pretty good odds too, because everybody thought he was the favorite.
I went on the lock shop parlay the other day and I put a little sprinkle. I can't remember what it was. I'm playing Alberta, but anyway.
Trev had 9 seconds left. And
Doing overtime.
So we have to restart the game. Because it goes. So you won the toss. You're gonna return. I'm assuming. So you got to stop the game to restart it. But you have to get. If he wins the coin toss, he has to kick. If you get it first, and first score wins.
Are you nervous?
Right. Right. But if we get through 6 minutes and no one scores, it stops.
Oh, okay.
Right. That's why we did it that way.
Dusty, this is almost over. Maddie will come out and help you.
Yeah, but they got to get this going because he's got the lock shop in 6 minutes.
Oh my gosh, what a world we live in.
I know, right?
Coming up, it is the lock shop. We do go to Oil Stream. We got EST Afternoons. We got the Reed Wilkins Show. That's all to come here at Edmonton Sports Talk. Benny, first time on the Hangout in the chair. You'll see more of him in the chair. You'll hear more of him behind the camera as well, and throughout the station over the next few months. So good job today.
Thank you.
Fantastic work. Jay, you got an email to get to. He says it's sent.
Hasn't seen it yet.
He says it's sent.
Okay.
So you got any added you on it as well. So you guys all got it.
Yeah, I do.
On behalf of Jay, Benny, Tommy, I'm Matt. Thanks for tuning into the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage and your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, Edmonton Sports.
I got the email.
As we're proudly presented by Play Alberta. Coming up next, it is the Lock Shop. Hopefully in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Autoplay on YouTube will take you right over on the audio streams. Hear it coming up just after 11 o'clock. Have a great Victoria Day long weekend.
Let's go.
There you go, right in front of the camera.
First time guest, long time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner.
Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. The difference is clear. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Zola with here, joining us today.